We can keep talking. Vic, flex.
Ray's logo. Ray's logo looks like a mustache. It just looks like a mustache that Ray doesn't have. Remember the last one? Ray's like, hold on, and then just exited.
I know, right?
Disappeared.
I wasn't signed in, so I could, if I typed, it wouldn't have shown up as a username.
It was literally the best opening.
See?
And he's
what
gone.
happens. If you sign in, you get kicked out of StreamYard right away. I told you.
He'll be back. So
Oh my god, that's great.
we're back. We're back. It's 2025.
Yay.
God, Vic.
I just pulled a Ray.
See, I told you that's what
You
happened.
totally just pulled a
I
Ray.
told you that's what happens.
Oh, that's it. That's hilarious. What's up, Tanner?
Hey, what's happening?
Tanner is like on point. Like every time you go live, Tanner's right there. Like you're the man, Tanner. He's got
Tanner
his
has
notifications. He's got notifications on point.
100%.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, man.
That's I can't log in. I'm not gonna risk losing it.
What do you? Oh, you know what? I got to do TikTok. Hang on. Hey, Alejandro, what's up?
Alejandro,
Dudes.
Raw arcade dude, he knew.
That's new to me. Is that
That's
some kind
me
of
too.
condom,
Listen, that's
condom
my
promotion?
that's my sexy name at night.
Oh, Lord.
going raw with an arcade dude.
That
Boy,
What a name! It's interesting. That's a sick name.
is a great name, right?
It's interesting. There's a lot to talk about. It's a good
There's
way
a
to
lot to talk about. Yeah, well, we should for the kids that just tuning in from home. Ray is here in spirit. He's a disconnected voice this week, but Ray's here. Vic is just back from Chicago.
Yep. Counted as the first trip of the year. I went outside of New York again.
You went outside of New York a lot in 2024, man.
I
I'm
know.
so proud of you.
Right, me too, and
Is
my
your-
wife too.
Yeah, I was gonna say your wife's got to be real proud of you. You love Queens a lot.
Yeah. Brad's back. Don't forget Brad.
Oh,
Brad's
I'm
back,
back.
yeah.
I'm back. I missed it was a busy December for Brad, but you know, it's fuck you. It's January, so you guys got Brad back. So
Yeah.
where were you last week again, Brad? I forgot.
family something. I don't know. I can't remember what last week was
Christmas
now.
party or something like that.
Something like that. So, but no, we're here. It's been a crazy week. With CES is this week. We had the introduction of Dungeons and Dragons pinball. Vic got to go out to Stern this week. You know, we got a lot of shit to talk about. So let's get into it. So Vic, tell us how the Chicago trip came around.
Chicago was cool. Honestly, I bought the ticket and I was like going there and I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't have gone. I always get that buyer's regret or remorse or whatever. And then luckily the day of at Stern, I was like, good thing I came. It was very fun. It was a fun-filled day. It was crazy that day. But we went to go play Dungeons and Dragons. A game that I'm not into. Like Dungeons and Dragons, I'm not into it, but it's pinball, so I was like, I'm gonna go play this. So
Well, that's perfect. So what we really needed is people who were pinball people to see that it's more than just the IP. Because fans of the IP would are interested for that, but are pinball players interested in it? And there was actually a lot of you who went out to Chicago. It was pretty crowded.
Yeah, I think there was like 14 of us. I didn't count. I kind of knew everybody that was there except for maybe like 3 or 4 guys. But there was a lot of us.
Compared to your last press event where it was like just one-on-one.
Well, if you compare it to Jersey Jack was like only like 7 of us. So it was different.
Yeah.
But this one, there was a lot more. I didn't know his name, but Cool Toy.
You saw Cool Toy? Yeah.
Doug.
I thought it was Derek. Good thing I didn't call him Derek. So there was 3 machines, and you got to think there was like 14 of us, so you have to play 4-player games. So I was getting ready to start up a game, and I was like, oh, there's 3 of us. And I look in the back of the room, and like Doug Cool Toy was like just like grabbing his camera stuff. So I was like, I almost yelled to him. I was gonna say Derek, and I was like, wait. I was like, Cool Toy, you want in? He's like, yeah, count me in. So when he was like next to me, I was like, dude, no disrespect, but like, what's your name? I don't know if he wanted to call me Cool Toy. So he's like, oh, it's Doug. I was like, good thing, because I almost called you Derek, and I would have looked like a total asshole if I called you Derek.
Yeah, well, you were deep in it. I mean, you actually, I heard that Roger Sharp was there too.
Roger Sharp was at Interium.
Oh, the after party kind of.
That was the after party. Yeah.
So you guys know Roger Sharp is the man who saved pinball.
Yes. So I was talking with Ralph. Ralph was there. Retro Ralph was there, and he played in the tournament. I didn't play because I was like, I know I'm gonna lose. There was 100 people at this tournament. I was, dude.
Did he
I'm
win?
used to like 20. Locally for me, it's 20 people.
Right.
No joke. It was. Did I send you guys the picture of it?
You did.
We saw some crowds.
There was like the because they do match play. Dude, it had 104 sign-ins.
Wow.
I was like, there was a lot of people there. I was like, yeah, no.
If you got any pictures on hand, send them over to the Facebook Messenger group, and I'll screen share. But yeah, do that. And the so the huge crowd that was from the tournament after, but it was only about you said about like 14 of you at Stern for the D&D event, which was weird because they premiered D&D like simultaneously out at CES. So we're seeing a lot of coverage on D&D, but it's like 99% from CES. Some of the stuff from Chicago is starting to upload now, but most of the stuff we've seen like is from CES.
Right. I'm happy I went to Stern. B-Kong went to CES, but he's into CES.
But he went to CES and was with Stern at CES.
Yeah, but like, so the invite that we got an invite from Stern. They said like you could either come to Chicago or go to the CES booth.
Oh, okay.
And since B-Kong is like into CES, he's like, I'm gonna go to CES.
Yeah,
plus he's California, so way easier for him to get
right. So he also had, I believe he got to play it on Monday because CES was Monday or a preview was on Monday.
Yeah. He dressed up like a goblin.
Like an elf. Right. Yeah, he dressed like an elf. It was just the only thing I feel bad about for B's part, and I thought about it now because of an expo. You don't really get much playtime because you have to share it with like 1,000 people at the expo.
With CES, yeah.
Yeah, you can't just like do what we did. We did on Inside I logged into 10 games. I played 10 games total for 4 hours. Which I don't know if that sounds like a lot, but
that sounds like a lot.
Is it? I don't know. It sounds I feel like when I play here, I'm like I could do 10 games in like 10 minutes, but then
but you're saying you're sharing, limited number of machines with a bunch of people, and it's in a demo event, so they, a lot of times they're going to limit how much time you can actually get hands on. So
So we did a factory tour. The event was at 2. It started at 2, but Stern invited distributors at 11 a.m. So 11 to 2 was distributors, and then 2 to 6 was content creators. So
nice,
pretty cool. Yes, and I was talking to one of the guys that works for a distributor, and he's like, "This is the first time Stern has ever did this, where they invited the distributors to play it."
Wow.
And this is, dude, it's been like a year about this thing with pinball. The guy Travis from Triple Drain, I was talking to him because he's with the pinball company, and ever since the Wick debacle. He's like, we don't get like to play it. And he's like, our job is to sell the game. We can't even play it. So sure enough, him and his partner played it, and he had no joke like 50 people like on a group chat.
Right.
And he told all 50 people, was like, yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, like this is it. I would buy this.
Well, that's a good selling point for them.
Huh?
That's a good selling point for them.
They have to sell it. They have to sell the game. That's why I was like, I didn't understand why Stern took this long to do that, and I'm only in it for a year and a couple of months. Stern is, look at like TMNT. It's like there for a while.
You're just some asshole. You're some asshole on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm just some luggy asshole that like, who the fuck is this? Who's this YouTuber? But the best part of that day, dude, was that I GC'd 2 of the 3 games. That was the best part. Huh?
Really?
I've seen that.
Dude, that was the best part. I don't know what's up with my camera. My camera's spazzing out right now. But yes.
Vic has a way of going and putting his name at the top of other people's pinball machines. And that way, every time they have to go into their den, they see Vic VP welcoming them every time.
Am I still I think number 1 on Playboy?
You are the number 1 on Playboy, and you're number 1 actually on the older ones too. Thankfully, they don't have names. The old stuff is just your score.
Yeah,
top score.
But wait till we come back and we play Alien. We're going to be battling on Alien to get the top score on that one.
Yeah, you gotta come over that. I can't wait to see Vic's name all over that one. So
that was awesome, dude. That was like, honestly, that was the best part, because at one point I was blowing it up and it was ball 2. That's when I grabbed my cameras, and it's 4-player game, so I drained on ball 2 and I took a step back, and like the guy that I know at Stern that has me in the loaner program, he was like, Vic, like what the fuck? And I was already at 4.4 billion at bowl 2. And the other girl, there was a girl there, Elizabeth. She's like, dude, like what the hell? I was like, oh, I'm just playing. I'm playing pinball.
You were knocking it out, though, man.
So now, going to what Brad said. Go ahead, tell me.
I was just gonna say, then the idiot savant comes up and it's like, who the fuck is Vic VP? Like, he's on everything.
So going to what Brad said, I'm not into RPG games. And I said that after we were done with the day, I was like, if they removed the name Dungeons and Dragons from the game and they just called it something else, it could be an original game and people would still buy it.
Yeah.
You can name it. You can name it like Gauntlet. Imagine if it was just called Gauntlet and like
that would be cool.
I would totally buy a Gauntlet like freaking pinball.
But I'm saying like it's just like wizards, elves. You buy stuff and you kill a dragon.
Yeah.
You can
now
some
of the stuff that's on there though, like somebody who doesn't know the lore, was the rule set intimidating, or could you just kind of dismiss most of it? I hear there's like leveling up your character and unlocking different.
That's like basics. It's like the more you use your character, the more you're unlocking.
And it said it's like an RPG basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you
intimidating is that for somebody who doesn't care about playing an RPG, just wants to.
Like me personally, I have no interest in playing RPGs. I'm not into it. Don't tell me that I have this wicked sword and it's level 10. I have no interest. And that didn't have anything to do with the gameplay. Yes, the more you use your character, the more you build them up. But each character had an advantage. Like Godfather has that. Depending on the family, you have like an advantage.
Right. Like a mob family.
But it's like you could pick anybody. So I picked there was one that the shield from the flippers pops up. So the character I kept picking was a girl. Because her special was the shield stays up longer. So I'm like, all right, I suck at pinball, so like anything that can save me, I'll have the sword come up longer. So I just used her. I was just using her all the time. There's another one that again, I don't know the name. So it's like the elf. The elf like takes out the dragon faster, or you kind of start multi-ball faster with an elf. It's like basic. It's very simple. People that's intimidated to like RPGs and it's like, am I gonna like this? I had fun with it. I'm not gonna really buy it though. Yeah, so that's the LE edition. So you can see that it's like Anya, it says they're like rogue. It told you what their like advantage is. But I always picked the girl. I was always the girl because of the shield popping up.
The dragon flippers, right?
Yeah, the dragon, dude, that is a huge mech. It is big. You don't understand the magnitude of it. It's just the whole thing is huge. In my eyes, it takes up like a lot of people said it's a third of the table. I could kind of see that number. It's just big. It has the dragon head, and then it's got like this cave that's like hiding the actual like motor. It takes up a big piece. So when you walk up to that machine, you just see dragon, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go fucking kill a dragon. Like I'm gonna beat this dragon up. So this is the LE. I don't really advise the LE. But you can see there. See, it's like good against dragons. So like,
and you got like the best point of view of that.
In a dragon multiple, you get longer like play, I guess you could say. The whole numbers on the left, that 14, 12, 12, I have no idea what that is, and I don't care what it is.
That's your level.
It doesn't affect anything.
That's your dice. Yeah. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So you're rolling a dice, and then there's a modifier on there. So like that's what it looked like in the old character sheets. So
I didn't know that. So it kind of makes sense. So in game, when you get to like a land or a battle, you'll fight against like rats or skeletons, and every time you made a shot that was lit, it would roll the dice, and then it would say like this. See, so you're fighting 3 enemies. So if you hit the arrow that's blinking, you take out like the 3.
Yeah.
See, like,
here's all the die that are being thrown.
Yeah. Right. So for me, like that, I wasn't paying attention to that. You're definitely not looking at that because the ball is like flying everywhere.
The ball's still in play, right?
Right. So basically, because there's 2 enemies on the screen, there's 2 arrows lit on the play field. And if you don't hit the arrows, then you're not hitting them. So after like 10 seconds, then they'll hit you. And if you look carefully on the right of the screen, you have your three friends there. So you have a paladin, a wizard, and a whatever that is, a cleric.
That's the rest of your party. Yeah.
Right. So if you're not hitting the shot, then your friends are getting hit. and then you essentially will lose your friends in battle. So
that's cool that you actually have a party, like a D&D party. It's not just you're playing just by yourself. You have
that
virtual
progresses.
partners.
What's really cool also is that you could do it was 3v1 or 2v2 co-op when you start. So we could have done a co-op game, but nobody was really paying attention at that time.
That's really cool.
Yes, that was very shocking to see. So usually you could pick like standard gameplay or competition, and then it said there 1v3 co-op or 2v2 co-op.
Now, when you say co-op, is that a linked table together?
No, it's when you take turns.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So like a multiplayer game, but you're not playing against each other.
You're playing with
right.
each other.
Yeah,
it's like we're basically trying to like kill like the dragon together. So I could start the dragon, or I could build up the dragon, and then player 2, you could take the dragon out and all that.
That's really cool, man.
It's very in depth. Like I said, for me, I'm not into RPG and stuff, so I don't know majority of it. But as a pinball player, I had fun with this.
I want to play this.
It was very fun. Like I said, there's so many things about this. I don't know RPGs, but like the coolest thing was the dragon. You're hitting the fucking dragon.
Yeah,
the dragon.
That was the first thing I noticed when they did the video on it. I'm like, look at that fucking dragon's head.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's huge. If you played at your tournament, they probably have a Jurassic Park. Dude, the T-Rex in the back of Jurassic Park, it's smaller than that dragon. That dragon is, dude, it's huge. Look at it.
Yeah,
it's like right at you.
And now it moves left to right. Does it? What does the dragon do? Does it spit out balls or something?
Yeah. So the dragon. So you got the Pro, Premium, and the LE. So the Pro version, the dragon only goes up and down. That's it. So the dragon is deflecting. There's 3 targets underneath the dragon's face or his mouth. So there's 3 targets here, but he'll drop his chin to block the target. So you have to hit the target to hit the dragon, like you're slashing the dragon's body. So again, the Pro, it only goes up and down. The Premium and the LE, it's a whole pneumatic. So the dragon will go left, right, up, and down.
So the real question then is if the dragon's the same on the Premium and the LE, which... So we had a question. What version would we get? You never would get the base model with just the lateral movement of the dragon, but the 2 higher end models, which one do you recommend?
I would go Premium on this because I see no advantage to the LE. None.
And no advantage to the Pro.
But here's the thing you got to remember. So this is what I said to Stern. I was like, this is probably your best game where it goes Pro versus Premium. You're going to see if like the Dragon multi-ball starts. On the Premium and the LE, the ball actually shoots out the dragon's mouth. It will actually shoot 3 balls out of its mouth.
So it's like fire breathing. It's like shooting like fireballs kind of thing.
Right. Whereas on the Pro, it doesn't shoot out of his mouth. So when I first got the multi-ball, I saw it. I saw the dragon spin, and I'm like, whoa. I was like, this is... I didn't really say wow. I was like, whoa. So it wasn't a wow moment. It was a whoa. But as you're playing, you don't see the dragon shooting the balls out. Like you're so focused on the flippers, you don't see the balls coming out of the mouth. So I did say, so that's the only thing. So the Pro has no ball shooting dragon, and there's no
balls.
There's no dungeon crawl. So right to the right of the dragon, there's this big square. That's the dungeon crawl.
What?
So
that's stupid. Why do they change that? That's so stupid.
Well, they're entry-level pinballs. I feel like most of the toys are just cardboard cutouts on the low-end versions.
Well, like the only difference on the Mando Pro versus the LE is that the top ramp where where Mando's head is, that goes up, and then there's 2 flippers on it. On the Pro, it's just one single flipper and it's completely flat. Otherwise, there's no difference to the Pro and the Premium at all, or the Pro and the LE at all. At least in this, they're changing things up. The dragon's head only goes left and right. You don't have the dungeon crawl. The dungeon crawl is like a huge part of the game.
So right now, see, the ball went in. The ball literally just went into the dungeon. But what's kind of cool is that even without that feature, you would just hit the spinner that's above it. So you don't lose much. It's just a cool pop-up effect. It's not like a game changer. So I would, like me personally, I kind of like the idea of the dragon going left, right, up, and down, because if you could see it right there, you see how the dragon, the dragon to the left is technically blocking the left orbit. That is blocking a shot right now.
Oh,
I see.
It blocks it. So I like that kind of gameplay where it's like, okay, the dragon's being a dick, so it's like, I want it to move. But some people, you don't need it. Is it worth I think it's what, a $2,800 difference from the premium to the pro.
Right.
Yeah, it's over 10 grand at that point, right?
Right, they're like 9,800. So it's like what? I think the pro is what, 6,900.
Yeah, the pro $7 grand, and the next one up would be 10 grand.
So it's a $3,000 difference. I don't think it justifies 3,000. You know what I mean? I don't think it's worth it.
I'm a pro guy, so I would go pro.
Right, for your ease, you're not losing anything when it goes to the pro. Whereas, like, so for example, like I have the Foo Fighters, I have the premium, I have the upper play field.
Yeah,
and like that to me changes the game. How you play the game, it changes it because you're doing an extra shot. Whereas the pro doesn't have the upper play field, so now it's like a watered down version of the game. I don't like when Stern does that.
Like Jaws. Jaws Pro doesn't have the upper play field with the boat. But the
Jaws is a huge difference. Yeah.
See, if you see here, if you actually go back, Brad, when this started, if you go back, you could see the balls come out of the dragon's mouth. But it comes out in a sequence where it kind of feeds your flippers in a cool way.
You know, it would be nice if Stern let us modify that to add on later. You know,
I doubt they would. Also, not to mention, maybe somebody's going to make a mech, but you have to think also there's a diverter that feeds the dragon's head. So another thing, the premium and the LE have 8 balls, and the pro is only 6 balls.
Okay.
So it's like the multi-ball, you'll get an 8-ball multi-ball versus a 6-ball, which, dude, a multi-ball that's even just 5 balls is a fucking insane amount of balls. So imagine like 8 flying at you. It's like, what the fuck is happening? So
imagine 8 balls flying at you.
Well, there's Apollo 13. Apollo 13 has 13 ball multi-ball.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's either Apollo 13 or Shuttle. One of those has like a high, insane multi-ball count.
I played Shuttle. Shuttle doesn't have that high of a multi-ball. Shuttle has a lock ball, and you can steal balls. So if you're playing a multiplayer, it's a ball steal game. Where if you're locking balls up on top in the left-hand corner, it'll pass over to the next guy.
Now, Brad, are you into D&D?
Not as much as most people, but sounds like I'm into it more than you guys. So,
okay, like this right now, what's on the screen and what you're doing, like, do you recognize these names, like a paladin and?
Yeah. These are different classes of characters that you can pick from. So, you know, like thief and warrior, paladin, you know, wizard, that kind of. Those are your different classes,
right? And then you got like a cobalt, like this, a Yanti. There's a Yanti like in your path now, so you got to hit it.
That's one of the monsters, right? Yeah. Right. So all of this, I mean, they're true to the source material. That's, I mean, like they really, it's like you said, it's good for non fans of the IP, just pinball fans. They like this pinball machine, but fans of the IP, they're gonna get these aren't just Easter eggs. These are just like, you know, like they get every one of these references. These are main characters, archetypes. And then the thing about combat with like rolling the dice there, where you're just rolling the, you know, where you're rolling the dice over here, that's fun too.
Right. So it's just like, for me, when you're actually playing it, I'm not looking at the screen and seeing the dice being rolled. It's just more about like, okay, there's a fucking Yandi and I have to hit the arrow blinking, so hit it.
Just tell me what shot to make. Yeah.
And it's basic pinball stuff. So that's where I'm like, okay, anybody that enjoys pinball could enjoy this. I had fun with this. I really liked it. The gelatinous cube was cool. It's one magnet that catches the top and the bottom. And so what's kind of cool is that it randomly happens. It will randomly suck your ball up. So he just hit a shot and it didn't get sucked up like that. It's just random. So I guess that's the thing about this gelatinous cube. It's
a classic monster.
It's very weird though. Like it's like, you know, if I didn't know D&D, you just the call out literally says like a gelatinous cube ate your ball, and it's like
what the fuck?
Yeah, like a gelatinous cube. I forgot to ask the guys at Stern if that cube is actually gelatinous. I was like, I should have asked if it's like rubber. Is it like a plastic or is it rubber?
Yeah, right.
But dude, it was a fun time. I had a lot of fun. They're gonna start rolling them out in February, so it'll be on the line in February. So I have a big feeling that what you see, the gameplay, you're not going to see any other gameplay footage until February.
That's cool that they're not doing it to February, because like last time you did John Wick, like it was on sale to buy like 3 days later, and then people had it literally a week later.
Right.
So this was like a good, nice preview that they're doing. I'm happy that they're not showing up now in places, and that they're going to be sent out in February.
Yeah,
so
when that'll
lead into quarter 2.
Yeah, when we went, they were doing inventory, so it was literally nothing on the line. And there's a guy that I met, but I also follow him on Instagram. He's called Johnny Two Sins. He's a producer, and he's one of the producers of this game. He was telling me, he's like, yeah, we're on inventory. So he's like,
Johnny Two Fins? He sounds like a gangster from Dick Tracy.
It does, but he's a very cool dude. He was an awesome dude. He was telling me, like, dude, like, I guess because D&D is by a company called Wizards.
Yeah,
but
Well, Wizards.
Wizards is owned by Hasbro.
Hasbro, till all are one. Yeah, Hasbro owns everything.
Right. So he was like, because we had the IP for Transformers back in the day, he's like, we have basically access to all of Hasbro, and they settle on D&D. And I'm like, it's pretty cool. Like I said, once you start talking to the actual people, it's like wild.
That's cool that they did a Dungeons and Dragons, man. It really is, because they've never done a Dungeons and Dragons before. There's not a lot of those mystic ones out there, except for Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, right?
Right. There's an old Dungeons and Dragons. There's like a very solid state old one, but it was cool.
The only other thing close to that is Black Knight, but this is better.
I
would consider, because it's a medieval type thing.
I was about to say, there's Medieval Madness is like one of the best pinball machines of all time. So like anyone who's just kind of a passing pinball fan, they see this and is like, oh, I'm getting Medieval Madness vibes.
Well, also remember that I forgot who it is. It's either Brian Eddy or Dwight. One of the two guys that worked on D&D worked on Medieval Madness and Attack from Mars.
Nice.
So Attack
from Mars is so cool.
Yeah, so I forgot who it is. It's either the game designer or the programmer, the lead programmer. He worked on Medieval Madness, Attack from Mars, and Venom. Whoever did Venom, it's the same guy.
If I was ever going to spend 10 grand, I would spend 10 grand on Attack from Mars.
A lot of people would. I would probably go for the remake, but yeah, a lot of people would.
I mean, I don't care. I'd probably go for either one. Yeah.
I don't know. I actually really liked Revenge from Mars with the Pinball 2000 system, the hologram kind of floating image.
Grab one. I am trying to grab one.
Yeah, when it works, it was really neat to play. So
you got too many pinball machines.
They're all like $6,000 by me. Like for just a Revenge from Mars is like $6,500, and I'm like,
I'm seeing them for like 3-4.
Really?
If I find one,
should nab it.
Jump to that, yeah. Jump on that.
If I find one for 3 or 4, and one of you guys want it, I can nab it and fucking figure it out, right?
Man, Vic, can you fit another machine?
I definitely could, because again, Earthshaker is gone, so I have that open space right there. So
Vic is going to be the home.
Street Fighter is going to go there. Actually,
you could put one right next to the Godfather too.
Oh yeah, I could put technically 2. Oh, did I ever see you? I ever send you the map? So
the little grid you did, yeah.
4, 3, and then back to back here. So I could fit several.
Man, God, you would have so many.
And then I have the space upstairs. That's where the Stern Loners are. But it was cool. Hanging out with the Stern team was cool. But again, Jersey Jack had the same thing where like the devs were there. And there was what was really cool is a girl named Elizabeth Gieske. Dude, she legit had the smallest notepad. And you would see her whip it out, and she was taking notes as we were playing.
She was documenting like every rule set and everything. So
she noticed. So like that guy Joel from Triple Drain, he said, and she even commented on one of my videos, because there's a part where I'm playing and the screen, it says final wave, but there's nothing on the screen. So I'm like, what the hell am I doing? So she commented and she's like, oh, you ran into a bug, but we fixed it. I was like, all right.
All right.
I was like, I'm
That's
happy
why they had you guys there. They're fixing bugs.
Like, I'm happy to be a tester.
You're all beta testers.
Yep.
Yes. Now, what was crazy, like I said, Stern was amazing. I never seen the factory. Dude, it's huge. It is, dude, it's insane. Think of like a Costco times 2. Like, it was nuts.
That's big.
What was crazy is that we were walking through, and all of a sudden we went to this like area, and on the left, there was 6 Metallica remasters, destroyed.
What?
Like,
what do you mean destroyed?
Like, the guy said that they were going to I forgot the name of the company. Like, I think it was called Pin Guys, and the fucking truck flipped over.
Oh my god,
dude! So they had the destroyed Metallicas there.
Are they selling them?
they basically now like they got. I said to Jack, I was like, I'll buy one like scratched and dent. Like,
yeah, right.
One, like the whole back box was like caved in. The entire back box was just
that's
like a
tragic.
Yeah, it was wild.
Imagine if they had a scratch and dent sale like in Orville's.
It would be hilarious if they did.
You know, that's like the domestic equivalent of when like you buy something from China and like the container falls off the boat.
Right. I mean, I would send it. It's just, you can see it real quick here. Like, if my camera
back up a little bit.
Hold on, wait. Let me get out of this.
You got a nasty glare off your light.
I know.
You can see it right there. Nope, back up.
You know what? Put it in the group chat. I'll just share the screen.
Focus.
Focus. Hold on, wait.
There it is.
I would buy that.
You can see like the box, the stern box is all like fucked up.
I would totally buy that.
And then like the glass on this one was shattered. But there was another one where the whole back, the rear of this back box was just down, like in it.
Vic, send that to the group chat. I want to put that on the big screen.
$3,000 for a Metallica scratch.
Imagine
all you need is a glass for the playfield.
And you know what is actually? I took a video of it on my other. I took a video of it.
You need,
but it's on the actual camera.
On your Legion Go. Can you please help? I mean, we can't really help too much live, man.
What do you say about a Legion Go? I have a Legion Go. What do you say?
Yeah, he needs help with RetroArch on his Legion Go. I mean, you kind of got to give us better details than that.
RetroArch, just do the MU deck.
What?
MU deck is
we don't know what his problem is. He said he needs help. What do you need help with?
Go, isn't that a Windows store?
Yeah, you could do MU deck on Legion Go. I have it set up for that. But long story short, yes, Stern was amazing. Awesome people, dude. It was like the workers weren't working, so like we got there at 2, and at like 3 o'clock, everybody came in the room hanging out. They're popping beers and like just chilling. I was like, "What the fuck is happening? It's crazy." But it was a great experience. At first, I was like, I wasn't gonna go. I was like, but expense-wise, it wasn't that bad. I probably spent the worst part was Ubers. I probably paid in total with the hotel and the airfare. I paid like I would say about $600-700.
Oh my god, I don't care. I would buy that all day.
Yeah, you can see like look at the wire formers on top of the fucking cabinet. The Sparky. And so it was like 5 Metallicas and I think 2 X-Men's.
I love this.
God, crazy.
Hang on a second. I basically downloaded RetroArch, but I'm not sure how to load games to it. Well, before you downloaded RetroArch, did you watch any videos?
Did you download the ROMs?
Well, don't worry about the ROMs, but did you download the videos? How do you load games into RetroArch, guys? Do you know how to do that on the Legion Pro? I mean, isn't there like
the GOAT, get MU deck. That's it. MU deck is going to make you the
Google MU deck, and you'll get a couple walkthroughs on how to load that. So
if you can't get MU deck done, trust me, the GOAT MU deck.
There you go.
It's not just for Steam Deck; it will do that. But yeah, if I was in on the Dungeons and Dragons, I would be buying the premium. The only thing right now to say, because it's like, why aren't you buying one now? I've learned I'm out. I'm out on the new in-box stuff. I'm like done.
Oh yeah, you were saying because I mean the depreciation is so instant, and then you know that the people that are like maybe a little bit of a FOMO buyer, then they're like, oh, that was fun, but not as fun as it's not permanent pinball showroom fun. Like I want to make room for something else, and so this stuff goes in the secondhand market pretty quickly, and not for a huge discount, but it's a guaranteed discount.
Right. So the biggest thing is like, you know, Stern. I saw X-Men Stern. That was gonna be the table that I was gonna be like, whoa, this looks amazing. I would pull the trigger on an X-Men. I went to go play it on location. I was like, this is fun, but then like you hear everybody's issues, and now like Ralph has an X-Men, and he's like, dude, the code sucks. He's like, the code, we're waiting for a big update. So I basically learned I wouldn't do new in box because they're just like, you're basically a beta tester at this point. And that's an expensive thing to be beta testing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would buy the $9,000 D&D, but I'm like, is the game finished? Does it need work? And same thing if it goes to like a Jersey Jack. Same thing with Godfather. Godfather doesn't have the final wizard mode in it. And it's a year. So I'm done buying new in box. I'm done. So
you wait a year or wait 6 months after the game comes out, you get it used.
Yeah.
And oh my god, I would totally buy that.
Yeah, so it was funny. That was on the floor. I think it was just labeled as like a sample.
Oh, look at the size of that dragon head.
Dude, if you see this on location, that is the first thing you see is a dragon.
Oh my God.
And it's a cool effect when it's spitting the balls out at you. All I got to say is that if they took out the name Dungeons and Dragons and they just named it like Dragon Slayer.
And look at the side art. You got the beholder here and everything. That's awesome.
Did you see Doug? So Cool Toy made a funny joke. I think he even said it there, or somebody yelled it. They're like, Mike Wazowski's on the backlash. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, it's because Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc., the one-eyed dude. I'm like, oh, like really? But yeah, it's cool. I had a great day at Stern. I honestly went really also to meet the people. I wanted to play, but like knowing that Ralph was there, I never met Ralph in person. Have you ever met Ralph in person?
Ray has.
No, I have.
No. Ray was. You know, you've never been out to Arizona, right?
Hell no.
Yeah,
I thought you met Ralph. I thought Ralph was in New York at one point. And you met him in New York.
No. I would have definitely made a video or posted a photo. No, I met Jason Baker in New York.
Right.
That's about it.
I've talked with Ralph on the phone. When I first got my Xenophobe, I asked him, I sent him a message asking about CRT stuff, and he just like, it'd be faster to call you. So he called me and he was walking. He was a really nice guy.
Oh yeah,
so, super nice guy.
Yeah, he's very like a simple dude. But it's so funny. We went to go play at the tournament, and he had this monster DSLR camera.
Oh yeah,
I didn't play.
Grand worth of filming.
I'm like,
I saw his rig, the one pole that can simultaneously shoot the playfield back box plus him all at the same time.
He put more editing into his videos and more freaking like equipment than some pornos. All right,
I think he went to school for production.
That's his job. His job is like some audio video stuff.
He makes videos for a server hard drive company.
Yeah, I know. Also, that he partnered. He had some experimental tech at one of the conventions. Somebody was there with him, and they had a rig where they could wirelessly jump between different cameras in the live stream. So it was crazy.
Cool.
Yeah, it was some crazy rig. It was basically doing like StreamYard, but you could jump to different wireless cameras in different parts of the convention.
What the hell would be able to? Well, the cameras would all have to be connected through internet, right?
Right. Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like,
I was more surprised that like Doug watching like Cool Toy do his stuff. I can't figure out how that dude edited and made a 30-minute video in like a day.
He's a pro.
Yeah, that's what they
do, man.
He's gotta have help, like how Ralph has that guy Mason.
Yeah,
like I think he had like because Cool Toy literally shot. It was just him, and like I saw him taking pictures and I saw him doing the whole video stuff. And then the next morning, he's got a 30-minute video explaining everything. I'm like, damn, that was.
He had it all. He probably had it all blocked out before he got there. He knew what shots he wanted. He knew he was ready to drop into a timeline and shove it out. But yeah,
Wicked Gamer cranks out a video a day, like the next day. I know that for sure. ETA Prime, same thing.
Jeez, I can't crank out 2 videos a year in 2024, but you know,
I was like surprised. I was like, wow, it was really cool though.
I still got 2 videos in my queue I haven't posted yet, plus 1 for TikTok.
TikTok, may it rest in peace.
I know.
Yeah, Stern trip was awesome. Done talking about D&D for a while until it comes out.
Yeah. So, did you finish your content? Did you get everything produced? You got everything posted?
I specifically went. When I went to JJP and I went to Stern, when I first went to JJP, I realized it. All the content creators that are there, again, they're all like podcasters. Nobody's recording the game. So I'm like, here comes Vic. That's it. I bought a tripod. So it was crazy. The Avatar videos, dude, in like, I think it was in 3 days. Because I did the LE and the collector's edition.
Right.
It was like, dude, it was 15,000 views in like 2 days. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah, there's not a lot of videos out there.
No, there's none. So I was like, all right, I'm going to bring my little tripod and camera, bang. And that's it. So now I got 3 videos up. That's like 30 minutes long each. And that's it. I'm done. I'm not going to do, there's too many people that did first reactions and reveal. You want to hear me talk about that?
When I was searching Mando, all I could really find was the unboxing videos. And then, a bunch of people, they're filming the person playing the table, but, like, you can't really see the table, and they're not talking about the game.
Right.
There's one guy that plays the game. It's like an hour-long video, and he just shows you he doesn't show you any shots, but he shows you how to go through the game and how to get 1 billion points. right? And then he gives you a couple tips.
There was a guy, I think Monday night or Tuesday morning. There was a guy at CES. I think it was called Gamers Guild. He posted a video.
I've heard of him.
He posted a video of D&D. And if you watch this video, everybody in the comments is like, your audio sucks. But it's just him, it's just him walking around with it's not like you can't see the play field. You just I see the dragon's head, cool, but show me what I would see normally on a stream. And I was like, all right, let me bring my stuff. I literally bought a tripod. I'm very shocked at how I'm able to do it. Because usually, my rig is the pipe over the
right, the coat rack kind of thing.
Yeah,
right.
I just had a straight tripod, just angled down. That's it, and it was cool. So the other podcasters, like Joel, when I did it in Avatar, dude, I literally took this tripod and I was like, "You guys keep playing. I'm just gonna put this here," and I walked away, and that was it. That was it. I knew going there. I was like, all I want to do is get the gameplay that everybody desires.
That's what they're here. That's what people are.
That's all they want. That's why I was like, all right, I'll do that because nobody's doing it, so I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, unlike this live stream where we never give anyone what they want, but
right. I know. I see Alejandro's comment. Alejandro's dying for me to play Strike Force. I gotta play that. I'll play it, Alejandro. I promise.
He's been asking you to play that for 2 months now.
So it's funny. We're gonna talk about this later on, but I do want to share about my little Megacade thing that I did today.
Oh yeah,
we'll talk about it now. Come on, Vic.
No, because honestly, Brad's got a solid lineup, and I'd rather. But the Megacade thing, I actually played Strike Force on the Megacade, and it was all right.
Wait, the bowling game?
No, it's apparently Alejandro said it's a twin stick, but if you actually look up the control pad, do you know it, Brad? Strike Force?
No, but twin stick. I doubt it's a twin stick.
It's a very, if you try to Google it right now, it's like a throttle on the left and another stick on the right.
Okay,
so
that's like a HOTUS.
Actually, it's not twin stick.
It sounds like HOTUS.
It's a flying game then.
No, I don't know. If I'll look it up real quick if anything.
Somebody YouTube it.
Yeah, wait.
Oh, you need, but
you're not sitting in front of a computer right now.
You need,
I know, right?
You got to see the actual cabinet. Not like the game.
What's it called again?
Strike Force.
Strike Force.
This
is not the one I saw. No, this isn't.
That can't be it. From not by Midway, right? No, that's a pretty generic name. There's been a few Strike Forces.
This is the game. It is a Midway. Yeah, it's the Midway game, but that's not the control panel that I saw.
Oh, this one's in a Smash TV cabinet.
So it is a twin stick.
No, it's up here. I should probably share the image here.
Where is it? I saw. Oh, I think I saw it on YouTube. Hold on. Someone on YouTube had a Strike Force cabinet. I was like, "What is that?
Is this it? This is an old. This looks older, but it looks like this is like a Smash TV cabinet looking thing.
No, it's not. It wasn't that.
So that's not a twin stick. That's a three. That's a 3-button game.
Player, yeah.
That is a Smash TV cabinet, though.
Yeah, that one was a Smash TV.
For fun, I'm trying to install EmuDeck right now just to see. I never installed it before.
EmuDeck on Windows is solid. It gives you all the folders and everything. You're done.
Yeah,
I got EmuDeck on the Steam Deck.
Yep.
And
yes, I had it on the Steam Deck. They should really rename it. It shouldn't be called EmuDeck anymore because people think it's Stream Deck.
Right.
But no, you just download that.
All right, I'll try to find this from 2015. There's videos of 1991 Midway. Yeah, that's why it's in a Smash TV cabinet.
Yeah, I'll try to recycle cabs, right? Why make a new cabinet? Just add the JAMA to this.
I saw the dude fixing one, and it literally had a guard over the left hand.
Wait, is Smash TV JAMA?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
is
how
it
I'm
JAMA
looking
with a kick harness? Like, how does that work?
No, it's just JAMA because you've only got eight inputs. Well, 9 with the start button. So JAMA can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Alejandro in the chat? Is he saying anything?
No. Chat's been quiet.
All right, I'll take a look later. I'll see if I can find it later. No, it's not the end of the world. But yes, I'll play that eventually. But yeah, the Megacade thing, I was playing that. We'll talk about that last because I don't want to bullshit and talk about Megacade.
Right, we actually have an itinerary tonight, which we never had.
Yes, I like Brad's itinerary.
Brad made an itinerary real quick for everybody to possibly follow.
Well, that's why you guys brought me on. There was a little bit of structure.
It's a new year. It's a new year, new structure. It's
By the way, I've been streaming with you guys off and on when I can make it. I've been streaming with you guys. You invited me on here a year ago.
It has been a year. Yeah, we started 2024 as the Four Musketeers instead of the
you guys had me on as a guest, and then you invited me back. So
it was amazing.
Now you're stuck with us.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck here. So, but yeah, no, I put together a little itinerary because it was, like I said, it was a busy week, and I there was things that during this week I was like, oh, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about that. Wanted to give Vic some time to talk about his Chicago adventure.
I appreciate it.
Let's talk CES.
We got CES 2025. Vegas. There's a lot of shit that was going down. Besides, like in addition to one fun little thing that I'm not sure if you guys saw. I'm going to go ahead and there was the My Arcade had a big booth at CES, and I'm this is stuff you see them at Target or something. They're not too great, but
so I'm not a fan of the My Arcade because they look like they belong at Five Below.
Exactly. Right. But sometimes it's just like sometimes it's a little fun, right? So they put out something new, and Gen X Grown Up has some great footage of it. So we're gonna borrow his.
Is it the pinball?
Literally, whatever you're gonna show me, I haven't seen anything.
This is Balls of Steel. This is a pinball. Virtual pinball machine.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah, and it's cute little. We're gonna get. It's got a couple different tables on it.
If that's like $30, I would buy it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, 100%.
I mean, do we know how much these things sell for?
No, I didn't. There was no pricing listed, and of course, my internet is struggling with the stream and this at the same time. But we'll let that buffer. It
looks cool, but it looks like it's a generic machine. It's not like an actual IP table.
Yeah, and he's got some. It's got a few different tables on it, but they all look like they're not like reproductions of like actual machines or anything.
Right.
Okay, so these aren't too bad. I'm looking here. I'm on the My Arcade website. I don't see the pinball yet, but like the pole position one is $50. The Pac-Man one is $50. So and then they have a Tetris Pixel Pocket, which is $20. So that's not bad. So I would expect this to probably be about
like $80. I thought it was like $100.
No,
I think this would be cheaper than that.
The Super Street Fighter 2 micro player is $39.99.
See at the top, there was actually like a little DMD at the top.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so the little comes up, and it's still in the. I love that it's in the orange dot matrix kind of font. That's great. But yeah, there's a few different tables in here. I didn't recognize any of them, but they're all Atari themed, like Centipede and Missile Command and et cetera, et cetera. So they're Atari themed virtual pinball machines.
Right, they're just not real machines though. So it's like somebody just sat and coded a new game.
Basically, yeah. So I would expect this to be like $50. Got to be like $50.
Yeah.
So I'm not seeing anything on their website that goes over $50 except for the Game Station Pro, which is $100, but that's for your TV.
Okay.
Yeah. Now who knows when this is going to come out too? But wow, my internet is really struggling. I'm surprised I'm even streaming right now.
Actually, I found out. I think there was during the stream the other day with B where they had John D on and they were on late. The rule for CES is that if you're going to present something on floor, that it has to be coming out in like the first or second quarter or something like that. Like it has to be coming out. Like you can't just go there and put something that's going to be there, then it comes out in 2026. It has to be within the first
consumer electronics. It's not like a car show where you see some concept, prototype vehicle or something.
How do they verify that though? How do they verify that you're coming out in 2 months or like?
They probably have to. It's. I imagine they're not holding them to it, but it's like, hey, what's your release? What's your release date? What vendors do you have lined up? That kind of thing.
Exactly. So this will probably be out by Easter time at least.
Yeah. Well, that's and I like I said, I thought this was a cool little thing because if you guys know Replicate, the New Wave Toys Replicates. Well, they're making a little pinball machine, and it's a perfect replica of Black Hole. But it's not playable. It just makes lights and noises and lights. Those
are expensive.
They're expensive because a lot of all of the Replicates are expensive. They're gorgeous, but this is a fun little thing because a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, we loved if you had made like a playable virtual pin in that size." Well, here you go. It's not accurate like table size and all, but it's playable and it's a real product. So that's pretty cool.
Listen, you tell me if it's like $50, maybe I would say like $80 a stretch on that, not 100.
Well, remember Atari, they put out that, about the same size, the little Pong, the little Pong table, and that went for 100 before they were on clearance. So, I mean, that this people paid more for less.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and My Arcade also is doing. Atari announced their handheld. It's an official Atari handheld with a trackball on it, and My Arcade is the one making it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's an official Atari handheld. It's got a nice big screen on it, and it's got a trackball on the left-hand side. But it's being made by My Arcade. So, and that's coming out first or second quarter of 2025 too. So yeah. I thought it was a joke because I was scrolling through TikTok and I seen the video on TikTok. I'm like, this can't be real. So I Googled it, and lo and behold, it was going to be presented at CES because I seen it last week.
And what else is at CES that is coming out this year? We've got, and of course, everyone is talking about it already, but we've got the iconic arcade.
Okay, I want
to talk about this, but I don't want to talk about it in a sense of. I want to talk about it in a modding sense.
And I knew that's where you were going. But now for
still really.
On the shocking part, if it's shocking, in case anyone hasn't heard of this yet, because everybody's been talking this shit out of it, but yeah, Iconic Arcade, they announced a, what's the scale? It's like
it's 9/10. So it's 24, it's 23 in the front, and it's 67 tall. They're 28 in depth.
Yeah, 9/10 scale. I like the size, I like the form factor. And I don't hate the 19-inch screen. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. But this is fun. I think this is a great return to a niche product that, a lot of people were really interested in, that Arcade 1UP kind of dropped the ball and just put out more Pac-Mans and shit. So it's, but
at 9/10, you might as well just make it 100-1-to-1 scale. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you are getting to that point where it's just like, okay, do we want Arcade, like Joel, you're working on a 1-to-1 reproduction of classic arcade machines. You just finished building a Double Dragon, right?
Yeah.
And so something like that, if somebody wanted to get a 1-to-1 reproduction, built modern, then there's this. Now, of course, the other side is people like, oh, I like the Arcade 1-Ups, or even those skinny cades, like the NBA Jam thing that just came out that was like super.
I hate those.
Yeah, I hate those too. But people were saying like, hey, not everybody has a ton of room. That's why I bought the Party Cade, or something I can hang on my back of my door. They're not my thing. They're probably not your thing, but they're a thing for some people. But this is not for them. This is too big for them, but maybe too small for full-size fans. But, it's bigger than Arcade 1-Up, and a lot of people bought Arcade 1-Up. So
9/10 at this one, 60 inches is still a cap.
The only fucking 10th part of it is the height. That's it. Well, and also the front. They didn't make the front the same size as a real arcade. The front of that deck should be 23 3/4. Excuse me. That should be what the deck is. Brad, if you take a measurement to your Street Fighter deck behind you, it'll be 20. It'll be 23 3/4 in the deck.
Do that right now.
Do it.
And what is this? It goes so fast.
It's 22 inches wide. So it's 20. No. It's 23 inches with the sides.
Yeah.
The inside of it is 22 inches because I asked 19K Fox if he could get measurements of the bezel because I wanted to know if I can fit the 26-inch Unico inside it, right? And the bezel is just too small. Because the bezel is 22 inches wide and 16 in height. And the Unico is like 22.33 centimeters wide or inches wide. So you can't fit a Unico.
So are we talking control deck? Are we counting team molding to team molding, or just the width of the control panel deck?
The inside of it, team molding to team molding inside.
Okay, inside the team molding, it is 25 3/4. 25
3/4. All right, so I was off by an inch, but I was close. Right?
Yeah.
The Double Dragon I made is that original one is 23.75 at least. I at least Googled that. But I made it 24 inches wide on the actual deck. So they didn't make it exactly a full-size arcade. They should have just did that. So they should have went 70 inches in height. They should have went at least 24 inches in width. But
let's talk about the fact that the remember Arcade 1-Up, everyone, they went XL.
Right.
They went before XL, they went with the slightly taller ones like Tron and Big Blue.
Yeah.
And they said that the limitations for them was to get it all into a specific size for flat pack.
Right.
So what's What have they done here?
This is the whole side. When I was watching the videos on it, I didn't see a seam.
There's a seam right there. I saw it. There's a split in the middle.
I didn't.
Is it? I thought it was one solid piece.
No.
I thought it was one solid piece too. I didn't see a seam.
I can see the image right there. Above the Street Fighter logo, right around Akuma's left tit.
Yeah, I see the line there, but
I can see the line. There's no way they're shipping.
Well, isn't there like a video? Isn't there a video of like them assembling it?
That I don't know.
Let me see.
But my argument with that is the depth. It doesn't need to be 28 inches deep. It doesn't. It should be 24 inches deep is what it should be. So
yeah,
I don't.
Again, that's like, you know, in all honesty, especially running a Pi 5, the inside of that cabinet is 95% air.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Air. That's all it is.
I made my double dragon. My double dragon is 24 inches deep, and I got the full PCB inside it along with the power supply and shit. It really doesn't need to be any bigger than 24 inches deep. All my full-size arcades are only 24 inches deep now because they don't need to be any wider than that in depth. So I made a 28-inch Guitar Hero, and I'm like, the side is just too big. Like, I can't get that in my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't have a tube, and that's the only thing that was taking up the width in the originals was the damn CRT tube.
Right.
So,
and exactly, you don't need the depth because of the CRT tube's not inside it. You got a flat screen. So I don't know. I'm not mad about the height. The depth a little bit could be smaller. It could be 24 inches in depth. They're not going to change that though, obviously. So we're going to get the Hap clones. Now, a lot of people were complaining about the Hap clone controllers on this. You know, which kind of blows my mind because these are the same people that go on Amazon and spend the $40 on the Hap clones. You know what I mean? And every arcade builder out there is using the Hap clones from Amazon on their shit. So, I mean, unless you're buying IL sticks, but I mean, if you're going to get a Hap stick, it's usually a Hap clone from Amazon because it's $13, right? And it plays the exact same way. So people bitching about the convex buttons, it's going to be micro switch. So bitching about the convex buttons and bitching about the Hap clones. John D said it himself. He was like, he wanted specifically a $6.99 price point. So he's like, you're not going to get real controls at a $6.99 price point.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of shocked that they're able to keep that price point with a Raspberry Pi. I mean, you know, because honestly, I thought they would, you know, for Arcade 1-Up, they deal in volume with custom, you know, system on a chip.
Right.
So they're buying Raspberry Pis, you know, I mean,
how much is a Pi 5?
$80.
That's they're running these off the 2 gig.
That's what I paid for the 2 gig. I paid $80 for the 2 gig. Now that's a consumer price point. He's getting it in bulk. So they're definitely getting a discount because they're buying it in bulk. Like you can buy 10,000 units from Pi, and it's officially Raspberry Pi licensed. So they have to have some kind of deal with them to buy it.
Now, speaking about licensing though, are they licensed with Capcom or are they just selling their hardware?
Well, they're licensed with Capcom.
Yeah. Okay, so they've got licensing fees to deal with. You know,
right?
It actually looks like it is one piece on the side. I'm looking at B Kong's video from CES. If they're shipping 67 in a pack, that's expensive as freight shipping.
You know, the thing is that John D's got shipping on lock, so he knows how many units this is going to sell.
Yeah.
So you got to think about this. He made this for both sides of the community for years, since 2020, since I started modding Arcade 1-Ups. I always said I wish they would sell a unit that would have all this stuff inside it that I could just add an SD card inside and be done with it. And he made it. He made that. So if you want to upgrade the sticks, then you can just spend $40 to upgrade the sticks. Or if you want to buy IL sticks, you can spend the $30 on the IL sticks and just unplug and plug them back in because they're what do you call it? They're spade connectors. That's what's going inside.
IL is even
and it's USB connection.
Yeah.
Real quick, what's the dimensions on this? 69 tall?
No, 67.
Yeah.
67. And what is it? So 67 what? 22?
67, 28, 23.
Yeah.
Okay, only because I'm while you guys are talking, I'm just trying to look at something else.
Yeah, I'm on the website right now. It's the sides in glossy vinyl looks pretty nice.
It does. I mean, it looked the glossy vinyl on the side looked
And,
really nice. The
and-
artwork looked like it was an upgrade.
Now I hear that Bobby Vu is in on on this product. So
he's I don't know if he's in on this product, but he's in on the cocktail.
Oh, okay. So I saw a preview of the cocktail. Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
he did a cocktail. I asked him the other day about it. And I messaged him. I was like, so what's the deal with the cocktail? Like, can we buy it? Where are we going to buy it? He's like, it's coming out later, but you'll be able to purchase it. That's
okay. So it's going to be a media one-up prop. It's going to be an iconic cabinet.
He didn't confirm that. He just said that it's coming out later and you'll be able to buy it.
But he didn't necessarily say that it's going to be in the Iconic arcade line, because it definitely looks like a multicade. Whereas, like, it looks like Iconic's going to be doing specific themed cabinets. So
right. So he did a completely blank multicade cabinet. He showed me a video of the guys from Iconic playing with the sending guns on the cocktail cabinet. So he definitely put something in their brain. But we don't know. We won't know until that one comes out. But there's going to be a cocktail coming out with a collaboration with Bobby Vu at some point.
Well, I think it's really cool that Bobby Vu is working with an actual commercial company. That's
absolutely.
That's pretty cool. Bobby's been doing some really great stuff in his garage for years.
Yeah.
So it's that's pretty cool. And but yeah, it's I still think that this is a great cabinet. Like if my first cabinet that I got for home arcade was a first gen Asteroids arcade 1-up, and it was you guys remember what Gen 1 arcade 1-up? You replaced everything on it except for the plywood.
Right.
New control panel, new controls, new graphics, new screen, new marquee, new guts, new everything. And then I remember when last year when Arcade 1-up made their little HS5 Street Fighter cabinet, it's like, oh, I wish I was modding that instead of a Gen 1 Asteroids. But this is so much better, and the controls they're not the super high end controls, but they're definitely playable. Right. So when something like this comes out and it's a Pi and it's running an SD card image, Joel, like, what do you think about being able to service this as a third party? What's the third party options for this once they start coming out? Can you think maybe they'll start selling SD cards? You can just pop in and you got a Retro Lizard drive on your Iconic arcade? Or
I was going to put them out to the community for free and then also place them on my website for people that don't know how to download from Arcade Punks. That's what I was going to do. I bought the Pi 5 2GB. I got it in today. I got to run out tomorrow and get an SD card, but I want to do an SD card with Batacera on it, and I want to see what it's going to run, and I'm going to do a video on it of how powerful the Pi 5 with the 2GB is. What is it going to play? Are we playing Killer Instinct? Are we playing Blitz? Are we playing House of Dead 2? Things like that. What light gun games can I run on it? Is it playing PlayStation 2? Is it not playing PlayStation 2? Keo, I was talking to Keo about this for the past couple of days, and he's been shitting a brick on it. Because he's like, the 2GB can't run shit.
Yeah.
But he's never used a 2GB. So I'm like, well, if you never use a 2GB, then you're not exactly sure what it can use.
We're all thinking the Pi 4 2GB. This is the Pi 5, and
Pi 4 was 4GB.
But you could get a 2GB Pi 4, couldn't you?
You could, but the standard one to get was the 4 gig.
And that's where Keo's coming from, is the 2GB. No one got it, so it didn't run shit.
But the rock chip, or whatever the chip is on the Pi 5, is a hell of a lot more powerful than what the Pi 4 was. The Pi 5 is it's a super advancement over it. So, here's the thing. When I make the video on it, and if I can run, Jason Munch just said it right here. Keo Dykins in the chat, you say his name and he pops up. So 2GB can basically run anything that was on a RetroPie Images. More was overkill. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the video and we'll see what it can run. And if it's gonna struggle on anything, I at least made a video, and John D is gonna see the video because I'm gonna post it in his Media 1-up group. I'm in that group, and he's gonna see the video. And he'll at least know that if I'm struggling with getting things to run through emulation, this is what you're going to struggle with too in the future. Maybe you should upgrade it to the 4GB or the 8GB.
Yeah. Well, there's also, there's, in addition to Batacera, and I'm not sure, I don't mess with Batacera, that's your thing, but this is going to be a Pi 5. So we kind of have a pretty good idea of what kind of interface we're going to be looking at, right? I'm not expecting a huge amount of custom front end. But this thing screams for Fightcade. Like,
it does.
Like that's like a no-brainer.
You got to hope that Fightcade runs on a Pi 5.
I'm going to put Fightcade on Batacera and see if it runs on it, because Fightcade runs on Batacera.
Now, what they showed at CES right now, that there's no working model of this. They just showed a blank.
They had a Pi 4 inside it.
Oh, but it actually had something on the screen.
Yeah, so they were playing Street Fighter on a Pi 4 through it.
The only thing I'm interested in this is that it has the online play.
Right.
So like
it's got the net play. Here's the thing: the Pi 5 will run Street Fighter without a doubt. Like, we're not stupid on that, right? It'll run Alpha. It'll run that. That's no problem at all. Like, if it's running Alpha on a Pi 4, it's going to run Alpha on a Pi 5. Yeah. The question is, how strong is the game's going to be when we add an SD card to it and put other stuff on it? I'm pretty sure and Keel's right. You're not going to run PlayStation 2 on a Pi 5. No. That's just stupid.
But then you run CPS 3, which, like a lot of people are like, oh, well, I can play Street Fighter 3, like that covers my Street Fighters.
Right. So, I mean, if we can at least play Killer Instinct 2 and Killer Instinct 3 and Blitz, we'll be all right. Or with that. I mean, you might not go higher with it with emulation on it. You might not do Naomi, but but I mean, Arcade 1UP things are running Naomi. So, what do you call it? Mystery Encoder put Crazy Taxi on the Fast and Furious thing. So, if Fast and Furious can run Crazy Taxi in the background, then this should be able to run Crazy Taxi on it too. I'm really curious. I'll find out more this weekend. I'm going to dabble into it. I got a lot going on this weekend with the kids. So I'm going to get into it in my spare time, and we got a playoff game on Sunday that I'm clearly going to sit down and watch. And my wife is going to the game. That bitch. Good for her though. She got free tickets to club level seats because she's best friends with a guy whose dad used to be one of the announcers locally here. And he still goes into the press box and works in the press box. Her husband. So, we got free ticket. She got a free ticket to go to the game, which is awesome.
Highlight Keo's comment real quick.
It's not a Street Fighter or MAME we're concerned about. It's distros that are required to run the front end. Basically have requirements. Ubuntu. Yeah, but here's the thing. You're not going to run Ubuntu. I can't say the word. You're not going to run that on this machine. This is either going to run RetroPie or it's going to run Batacera. It's going to run one or the other.
My only question with this, so like I said, I told you in the chat, I didn't look at anything with this. Like, I looked at nothing. I heard like Rexer's thing, and I don't know anything about this, but I'll give you like when I heard it, I'll give you what I was thinking about while you guys were talking. Number one, real quick before I forget, my big question is, I'm very intrigued about this online play thing. So are they making like, I don't want to compare, but like Arcade 1UP has like the net play and their whole user interface, right?
Yeah, I don't expect them to have that. So
I don't know. Is that like what Bobby Vu's maybe making? So here's my question, right? I would hope right now, like for example, I'm looking at the cabinet. It's $700. People automatically know I got to change the joysticks. I got to change the buttons and all that. So real quick, while you guys are talking, I went to look up Game Room Solutions because Game Room Solutions is the cheapest. You're going to get
from them for $500.
Right. So I'm looking right now. They have a 22-inch cab. That's the 3/4-inch size for $400. But the dimensions are technically smaller than Iconic. But then it's a 22-inch screen. So
it's smaller. It's a smaller arcade. I used that one before.
If you want to go up to the 27-inch, then it's like $499. But that's just a bare cabinet, no art, right?
Yeah.
So I looked at this and I was like, okay, it's $700. What can I make for $700 to make it better? So I would go GRS, get your own buttons, get your own joy, but you're already in at least $1,000. Get your own custom artwork and the buttons and the joysticks.
They have a 27-inch arcade on there that I was charging. It would cost me either $800 or $900 to build, and I had it for $1,200 on my website. And
so $800 or $900 got you the 27-inch screen?
But 27-inch completely built.
Right.
So we're talking buttons, iPad encoder, mini PC, and a 27-inch screen plus a soundbar.
Right. So that's like what I want to get people's mind into, where right now you said it costs you, let's just say $850.
Right.
Right.
So $850.
Okay, $700, you don't like what Iconic's doing, then fine. Get the GRS, because there's nothing cheaper than GRS.
There's not.
There's not. So so whoever's bitching about the controls, so then go ahead and pay $850 and build it yourself.
Exactly.
My only thing now with Iconic Arcade that I'm interested, because again, I saw the online play thing, and that kind of grabbed me because like right now I can't play with my Arcade 1-Up friends.
Wait, did they advertise online play? I missed that.
It was on the thing.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting more like a flat image.
Check it out. So my big thing is this, right? And this is just for the, I don't want to call them haters, but this is the people that go, for $700, this is a ridiculous price. You're getting like a loaded thing for $700. You want to do it yourself? $850, fine. Grab a Raspberry. So now, Joel, I'm sorry. For $850, you were running a PC system. You were running Batacera. What were you running?
I was running Batacera.
Online play leaderboards.
Mini PC for $100, running Batacera on a 256 garage.
So for $850, you had a mini PC.
Yep.
Okay, so that's what I'm just trying to get at. So whoever's hating on this product, go build a GRS cabinet, and you can see there, fine. Spend an extra $150.
And the mini PC is the same price as the Pi 5.
Right. So my big thing I said, because the people don't like the buttons, fine. My solution is go build.
Go spend the $40 on the buttons. Go spend $40. You know what I mean? That's it. You don't like the buttons, you're spending an extra $40.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is like, for somebody here to buy, because right now it's on sale for $699, but it's going to go to $799. Right?
Yeah, that's a pre-order price.
Yeah,
right. So price. $800. So me personally, I would say forget the $800. I don't want to buy this for $800. I would rather buy and do a GRX. My only question to Iconic Arcade is the image that they have on the Pi. Can they give me the image so that I could build my GRS cabinet and enjoy online play? That is the only question I would have.
If they would be willing to sell their software to DIYers.
Right.
So build your own cabinet, and then here you can have our image. Yeah.
So Keto,
I'm looking at this. I'm right now. This whole thing, it looks great right there. Online play leaderboards. And it's on a Pi 5. So essentially, somebody could get this Pi 5. Somebody could buy this and clone the SD card and then give it to me.
Potentially, yeah. They could clone the SD card and give it to you. They talked about that the other night on the stream too. You know, potentially people just cloning it cloning it and then putting it online for people to download and use. The question is if you can do that though too. I mean, if you clone it, is it going to run in the machine too? Who knows? It doesn't seem like that they're too worried about them cloning the iOS or the iOS. So it is what it is. I mean, you probably very well could. Hang on a second. Keel, I can't answer your question because I've never ran Batacera on a Pi. I haven't touched a Pi in 3 years. So this is the first time I'm touching Pi. This is the first time I'm touching Pi in 3 years since the price hike because I've been using Batacera on mini PCs. I never had a reason to get a Pi.
To jump in real quick, because also people have to keep in mind with this. I've stopped using Pis. Pis are not Windows-based systems. You want to add ROMs to a Pi, I tell people good luck. It might be,
and it's just you have to be technically savvy and not afraid of Linux.
Me, Joe Schmo, if I want to put Centipede on this, how do I want to put WrestleFest?
Yeah, I don't think that's the way the market. You guys know this.
If you're using Batacera, at least Batacera on PC, you press the F1 key and then it pulls up the folder system for you, and you have a ROM section, so it's very easy to add games. You just drag and drop, right? I haven't used it on a Pi, but from my understanding, it's the same interface on a Pi. You plug in a keyboard,
you can actually
press F1.
Yeah, you can copy stuff over the network to a Pi.
You can SSH in,
but you need to have a Linux file browser if you're doing it from Windows.
Right. But I'm saying you can also just plug in a keyboard, press F1, pull up the file structure, and have a USB input inside it.
But I don't think that's the majority of people we're dealing with nowadays. First of all, we have two main customer bases. All right, the two main customer bases are the Best Buy, Walmart people. Okay, they're not adding shit. They just want something that they can buy and it works, right? But then the other people, the home modders, they're not doing what I used to do, which is add a game, add a game.
We know that.
They're buying drives. They're downloading images. They're getting all-in-one dones, and they don't care about adding one game. It's like, oh, I got a new image, but this new game came out. I'm just gonna get a whole new image that also has that new game on it.
Correct. That's why I think right now, I don't like Pis, but this was a smart move because I'm very sure, depending on this online leaderboard system that they're going to make, 99% of the people are gonna take the SD card out and I'm gonna put a Wolfonso image in it.
Now it's a smart move if that will work, and that's what we're gonna find out this weekend. We're gonna find out if the Pi 5 2GB will run Batacera, how well it will run, will there be any lag, and how many games it's gonna run. We're gonna find that out this weekend. My only
question, and I think Keo could answer, and I'm pretty sure it's correct, but a Pi, I would assume it needs an SD card to even boot.
Yeah, it does. Well, so, you can hard code. I'm pretty sure you can hard code to it, but yeah, an SD card is standard what you need to boot.
No, I don't think you can hard code and boot an OS off Pi actually.
No, yeah, the SD card is the main drive. You can add secondary drives to a Pi, but the main boot drive is the SD card.
SD card, yeah.
That's where, like I said, in all brutal honesty, they did it smart. Arcade One-Up's been out for years. Everybody, 99% of people put a Raspberry Pi in an Arcade One-Up. It's smart for them to do a Pi 5. I kind of question it now because, like Joel said, a mini PC is the same price. So, like, maybe they should just put a mini PC
not
in and call it a day. You could put like $120 on a mini PC. I'm not talking i9 and
GPUs. Just all you need is the M905, and you can get the B-Link or you can get the B-Max. The B-Max is $10 cheaper than the B-Link. And it's 8 GB of RAM with a 256 M.2 SSD inside it.
Yeah,
right.
So that's what I run. That's what I run on all my.
Would there be licensing complications with doing a PC versus a open source Linux distro?
You got to wonder what he can get the PCs at. He should be able to get those mini PCs at a good price. Honestly, if I run this thing this weekend and these games run like shit, right? Then maybe it would be I would probably put in a thing that, hey man, if you're spending $100 on the Pi, maybe you should just spend the $100 on a mini PC and put the mini PC on it. And you're going to get more, and you can just swap out the M.2 drive that's inside it.
The other big thing that we're all forgetting is that they have a license, right, with Capcom.
Yeah.
So this could also play into like Capcom saying, like, listen, you got to use like this Pi 5. You can't.
I was wondering if the licensing requirements was going to have any strings attached, like lock it down. Like in which case, like maybe Capcom doesn't want people to be able to just clone, this stuff.
That's true.
So
that's true. Or maybe if you get caught cloning it, you're going to get hit with something like Nintendo.
Yeah, well,
if it ends up on Arcade Punks, maybe they fucking go at Arcade Punks.
Yeah, that was another thing. So Arcade One Up when they had their system on a chip, like no one's gonna plug in a chip reader and try to clone, an Arcade One Up PCB.
Right.
Exactly. But you can pop an SD card out all day long and clone that.
Right. That's my only thing. It's like, so that's where even I think Joel sent to us, like, we don't really fully understand what Bobby Vu's incorporation is, right?
That's me.
Bobby Vu's incorporation.
That's you, right?
As my understanding, him. It was his phone. Bobby Vu's incorporation into it, from what I understand, is just the cocktail table. That's
like,
all.
Meaning, what does that mean though? Like the actual building of the table?
Meaning he didn't have anything to do with the Street Fighter cabs.
Yeah, I don't believe he did have anything to do with the Street Fighter cabs. I don't believe. I could be wrong. But from my understanding, it's just the cocktail cabinet that he presented. And then, the cocktail cabinet's going to be coming out later this year, he said, and it'll be available for purchase. We just don't know if it's affiliated with Iconic or how it's going to be put out there, though.
So he has nothing incorporated with the Street Fighter cabinets and all that we just saw.
Not as far as I know.
No. But he was
wrong. But no.
This was Media One Up introducing itself. I mean, there's Media One Up, right, and there's Iconic Arcade. Iconic Arcade has been out for a while. So this is a partnership with Media One Up. Bobby Vu and John D, they're Media One Up.
Right. So. If Bobby had anything to do with the Street Fighter cabinet, I think it would have just been like an influence. Like maybe Bobby's idea was use the Pi 5 or a Pi. Maybe
they're not building these tabs.
Bobby would have been a modding aspect towards it. Like make this for modders and make this for other people. Because Bobby Vu mods the shit out of Arcade One-Ups. That's
right.
I can see Bobby producing the prototype to be mass produced. It's like say they make that cocktail table, right? Well, Bobby's building the cocktail table and they present that to the factories and like, okay, how can you mass produce this? Right. So I could see him doing prototypes.
Absolutely.
Like I said, the way I haven't been on Arcade Punks in literally like 3 or 4 years. So is Arcade Punks right now full of Pi 4, Pi 5 images?
Not really. Pi 5 images.
I think it's Batistara. I think Batistara took over. No,
it's more Batistara PC.
Do you want to send Keo a link? Send him a link.
We don't need Keo to hop on. We get it. we don't.
Like I said, for me, it's like I don't deal with pies. I don't like pies. But the only thing that eye-catching on this iconic arcade is the online and the leaderboards. That is the only thing that I like about this. Other than that, everybody's gonna bitch and moan about the price. Then do like what Joel and I just said. Go to Game Room Solutions. Get your own cabinet. Put your own controls in. Put your own sticks, so you don't have to bitch and moan and cry. Because you got to think, $800, then another $50 for joysticks and buttons. You could get custom artwork from GRS. Do it that way and stop crying.
Right. So
we don't endorse GRS. Their quality control now is just a joke.
I mean,
it's the same though, and I could at least get custom. I could get a bigger screen. I could do custom artwork. It's like there's a lot of pros versus the cons to the GRS.
So. Here's the thing, though, right? It's a $699 cab. After tax, it was $751. So it's still a $751 pretty full-size arcade, right? Pretty big-size arcade, running a Pi 5. If the Pi 5 isn't strong enough that they provide you to put inside it, you can just spend another $100 on a mini PC.
Got it. Yeah.
Put the mini PC inside it. Or we all have PCs laying around the house. You can grab your laptop from 10 years ago with your child porn and plug it inside it.
So back in the day,
HDMI.
This would be an amazing thing to mod in 2020, 2020.
Oh my god.
Okay, but this is 2025, guys. Okay. Right. Is there a market for modders for something like this? Or would they just go with the solutions like Retro Lizard and Vic and buy stuff? Or, would they go to the existing solutions, or would they buy something off the shelf, fully functional, gut it, and put their stuff in? I'm not sure if that market still exists.
I'm going to call this for the lazy modders.
Well, you're at a fine line of lazy modders. Are they so lazy that they're just not going to mod it? It's like, what?
Lazy modders are soft mods. Okay, that's what I'm calling a lazy modder. You might not like the term. Anybody who's done a soft mod, I'm sorry if that sounds offensive to you, but
not detrimental lazy mod, but simple.
Here, when I think of a mod, I'm gutting it. I'm fucking drilling holes in the deck. I'm adding the LVS board. I'm adding a new speaker system. I'm adding a new power supply. I'm adding new controls. I'm adding either a PC or a Raspberry Pi to it. I'm doing a full-on gut and mod. I might even add a 20-inch monitor to it. I don't know. I hated doing that, by the way. But my point is that if you're doing a soft mod, like the Mystery Encoder mod, which I call those the shitty soft mods, right? That could also brick your system. That's a lazy mod. Right? That's actually a hack, is what it is. It's just a hack. Right. So if you're one of those guys that buys the arcade 1-ups and you're hoping that Mystery Encoder does something to it down the line in 3 years, you don't have to wait anymore because you could just take out the SD card and put it in, right? Or you can buy a mini PC from a company like myself or somebody else, and you can just unplug the HDMI cord and plug it in and plug in the USB controls because the control encoders are USBs.
That's confirmed? That is USB encoder.
Because that's a plug into the Pi. Otherwise, it goes. They're not going to design a custom encoder with GPIO. They're not going to do that. But So but what you were saying earlier, like the where was the window share? This mod here. This was an arcade 1-up that I did everything on.
Right.
Like pulled everything out, put the wider screen, which required new support brackets, the new marquee, the new graphics, the new control panel, the new buttons, the new sticks.
You even have an active marquee on that.
Yep.
Active marquee on that. But there was nothing left of the original arcade 1-up except for the plywood.
Right. That's what we did.
Yeah. And the question is like, are people going to do that with a $700 cabinet?
You don't need to with a $700 cabinet now because it has everything you need. If the only thing you have to do is reskin it, yes, you can add an active marquee to it because the Pi 5 has a double HDMI slots. Batistara supports that LCD marquee by just plug and play. So you can add an LCD screen to it, or LCD marquee to it if you wanted to. But chances are they're not even going to need to reskin it.
My only question is this 19-inch BOE monitor. Is this like a 4x3 scale? Is it 4x3?
4x3. It's 4x3. The only caveat is for that size cabinet, they could have gone with a larger screen. So there was a sacrifice for going 19. That was probably for cost.
They couldn't fit a Unico inside it.
But again, for cost. So, but
I mean, like the Unico doesn't physically fit.
No, the Unico what? The Unico 27?
26.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but I'm talking like you could go to like a 22 or something like that. You could go larger.
And like I said, for me, in my opinion, if you're the type that's going to literally buy this cabinet to gut it, reskin it, just get a Game Room Solutions cabinet.
Yeah, that's not
100%.
Yeah, well, that's my thing as a modding standpoint. You don't need to gut it. You don't. Right. If you're going to do anything to it, you're just going to spend $150 on a mini PC or a stronger Pi, and your $50 from your encoders from Amazon.
Yeah, and this one you don't even need to get the stupid adapter board to use the screen.
Yeah,
because it's already doing HDMI.
Exactly. This is why I'm like, this is built for modders, and then this is built for people that want to have a cheap multicade. And then this is also built for people that want to have licensed games. So because there's that niche in the community where they won't buy anything unless it's licensed. Like, fuck you guys. But it's a very small part of the community that's like that, right? But I get it why they want to do that. They want to be legit and they want to do all that other shit.
You know what I wish?
There's the modding standpoint of it where you're just taking out an SD, putting it in SD, or unplugging an HDMI and plugging in a new HDMI.
Yeah, anyone who then takes like this and then they fall in love with it, then it's no longer a cost thing. It's like, I love it. You know what? I'm going to put some better sticks in it. I'm going to do this. Oh, maybe I'll put an active key on it. People are going to put more in it than it's worth because maybe they just kind of fall in love with like the hobby of it, which is like my jam. That is exactly what I'm about.
Right. So this announcement of this cab at first, they were like, they announced a Street Fighter cab, and I jumped the gun and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Another fucking Street Fighter cab? This is fucking stupid. I don't care what versions of fucking Street Fighter on it. This is fucking bullshit. And then I found out that they had the Pi inside it. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait a minute, you got a Pi inside it? I'm like, I need details. I'm like, is it hooking up through, are the controls hooking up through USB, or are the controls hooking up through that little pin board, right?
No, it's definitely
I didn't know this at first, right? I need the details. So I'm messaging B Kong, I'm messaging 19K Fox, I'm bitching at Michael B.
Did they actually send you pictures of like
I'm literally bitching at Michael B. Me and Michael B were like, we didn't have like a back and forth together, but like I commented on his channel, I'm like, you're fucking shilling for this piece of shit cabinet, and then we started going back and forth together in DM because we're friends. And we talk, so it is what it is. Yeah. But it's friendly bitching back and forth is what it was. We don't hate each other.
Did he send you any pictures of the actual like USB encoder and the?
No. But I'm asking 19K Fox, and they basically answered all that stuff on their streams that it's a USB input encoder to the Pi, and that it's HDMI in and out, and that it's running SD card. As soon as they said running SD card, I'm like, ooh, here we go. Here we go.
There are USB ports on the front of the control panel as well.
Yeah, those are going to player 3 and 4.
So controllers.
Right. Yeah. So you could plug in player 3 and 4 into the front of the cab and use the controllers on that.
Better than that, though, you can plug in a keyboard and a flash drive.
You can plug in light guns to the front of it.
Yes!
Yes, you can run your Sinden guns on it. You can run your gun for IR on it. You can run your retro shooters on it. Sinden gun would be the most ideal for this cabinet.
Because then you're not wiring up LEDs. You're literally plug and play. It would all just be software.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of there's going to be a modding aspect to this. I also purchased it because I'm going to want to make some of the Arcades Anonymous guys were like, yo, you need to make new decks. And I'm like, because it's just the top of the deck is just a flat deck. So another reason why I'm getting it, I want the measurement of the deck, and then I'll be able to cut new plywood decks for it. Yeah. So say somebody wants to convert that to a Mortal Kombat cabinet. All I have to do is take the measurements of that cab. It's an HS5 clone or an HS1. I'm sorry, it's an HS1 clone, right? So all I have, either way, it's the HS clone, right? Yeah. The HS clone stuff is online, so I can just get I can download the HS1 stuff from online, and I can put it into Photoshop, size it up, and then I can get new graphics made for it too. Like there's a whole modding aspect to it that I see. I'm seeing dollar signs is what right? I'm not going to be. I'm not too worried about the images. I'm more talking about making modifications to it. If I could fit that Unico 26-inch, I have the CNC machine now. This is why I made that bezel. I showed you guys the picture of the 26-inch Unico that I got with the flush mount kit. I wanted to see how big I needed to make that bezel to make that fit. If I can make that Unico fit, I'll make a mod for it.
Oh, yeah, guys, you remember? Talking about Bobby Vu. You remember back when he used a router and shaved down the Arcade 1-Up Star Wars side panels to fit a 20-some-inch screen in there. It was like like millimeters holding that thing in place, but he made it work.
He made it work. I mean, if I could bend the Unico, because the Unico's got that lip on it, that's what makes it
the metal lip,
the metal bar, right? If I can bend that and put it to the sides and then drill it in that way with a mount, that would work out perfectly, because that's got to add, that's a 1/4 of an inch, so that's a whole half an inch off right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just say good luck to them and let the mods begin. It's really not.
Yeah, I mean, I have this whole idea in my head for images to put out on Arcade Punks to the community for this thing, collections for it.
I think it's fun to have another product in the home arcade space, because Arcade 1-Up is been dying. They've just been releasing. But did you guys see Arcade 1-Up's announcement at CAS?
Oh yeah, the Fast and Furious coming back.
I didn't understand that. I don't understand what's happening with it. So
they announced the Fast and Furious again,
back in stock.
It is back in stock, baby. That is their big announcement for CES 2025.
Look, I like that cabinet.
No, it's a great cabinet. My brother picked one up. He put the buy stuff kit in it. It's fun as hell.
I like the shifter on it. The shifter's really nice.
Yeah, and the shaking wheel. The it's not quite for feedback, but the shaking wheel. It's
Yeah, I didn't even feel that that cab needed to be modded. I liked the way the Fast and Furious game played.
Yeah, I was a little. I didn't like that they called it 3 games when it really was just like different tracks of the same game or something.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
Yeah, but it was a little weird, like that they actually announced Fast and Furious. I mean, at least they're not announcing Pac-Man again. But it's just with Iconic Arcade coming in, at least there's something coming up that people can get excited about.
I'm just excited for modding.
Yeah, exactly.
I literally haven't modded an Arcade 1-Up in like 3.5 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while. So that's why I'm telling you, they probably said, listen, let's go Pi 5, Arcade Punks. I mentioned to you guys last week. I'm like, I'm surprised they didn't contact Wolfonzo to make like an image. Maybe he's already making one. Maybe they did.
Call them Wolfonzo. It's Wolfenhouse.
When I think Pi and Arcade Punks, I just always remembered Wolfonzo's name. So like,
Wolfenhouse.
Oh, I always call him Wolfonzo.
I always said like Wolfenhouse.
That's hilarious.
Ray, how's that EMU deck right now in your handheld? What's going on?
I didn't even do it on handheld. I'm doing it on the PC I'm streaming on with you guys just to see how fast it was. It was pretty easy.
I'm gonna
dude, it's like 2 minutes. And the best part about EMU deck is that it kind of removes the filler bullshit, and it's just it's just clean, and it's just a simple ROMs folder, and that's it.
Actually, so what I didn't know is EMU deck is actually a configuration app. It's not the front end. The front end is actually Pegasus or Emulation Station.
Right.
So EMU deck just downloads all the emulators, sets all the settings for you, but it's actually not the visual stuff. So I just
no, it's like a back end, but they have it's just like what you said. Pegasus, I think, was installed on my Legion Go.
Very clean, and I installed Emulation Station. Pegasus does not have a scraper in it, so I used Emulation Station instead.
For me, for like my Legion Go, I just launch. I have all the retro stuff on RetroArch, so I don't need a front end because it's just more media and shit to fill up on my card. So I just go into RetroArch and then I'll launch like NES Super Mario Bros. Like that's it.
Yeah, I want the sorting.
I don't like for example, if you bought the standard Legion Go, which was 512 gigs. And then you get media and video, and now you have a front end launching. You're taking up like that, you're taking up RAM or whatever you want to call it. For what? Just, what? I want to play some of, I don't know, PS2. Fine. I'm just going to load up my one single PS2 game and call it a day.
Oh, yeah. If you're doing a very curated list, and
I'm telling you, when I had the Steam Deck, I had people message me like, I want an 8 terabyte Hyperspin build for my Steam Deck. And I'm like, no, you don't. Like, why do you want to put an 8 terabyte external drive to your Steam Deck? That makes no sense. I'm the type, like, if you look at my Legion Go, I have a terabyte. I only have like 200 gigs full. And I'm like, I have like 3 PS2 games and like I don't know, 4 GameCube games because I'm like, all right, let me play this one game, let me beat it. When I beat it, I will delete it and then I'll replenish. I don't need 20,000 games on my Legion Go. It's not an arcade cabinet. Speaking of Hyperspin 2.0, what?
They're back, baby. No one asked me to come back.
I left you fuckers, and now you came back with Hyperspin 2.0. Get the fuck out of here.
Did you see the video?
That?
It showed a lot of it looks like Launchbox kind of like a little bit graphically.
It's not gonna happen. People listen, launch I think so. I don't know who wrote it in the chat, but it's too late. It's too late.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking at that, unfortunately. I hate to say that, but nobody's looking at that.
It's but I mean that is a little nostalgia there. Like, wow.
There he is, look. Mr. Hyperspin himself, Joel. Hyperspin 2.0, Joel.
What's going on in all your caps, isn't it, Joel?
Oh, he can't even hear us. Oh, he's gonna
can't hear us.
Joel, I said there he is. He's back, Mr. Hyperspin himself. What are your thoughts on Hyperspin 2.0?
Who, me?
You.
I've never used Hyperspin ever.
Oh, but 2.0 is here, baby. It's going on all your products now, right? Forget Launchbox.
Fuck that. Actually, no, I can't say I never used Hyperspin before. I tried Hyperspin before I tried Launchbox to make it. And yeah, fuck that.
You know, before I modded my very first arcade, I bought a drive online that was a Hyperspin drive, and it only worked with one Xbox controller that I owned. No matter what else I plugged in, I was going into I was going into the launch settings. I was trying to add games and trying to fix it. I couldn't make that thing work shit. And you know what? I'm not a dumb guy. I couldn't figure that shit out.
Hyperspin 2.0.
I know what I'm doing.
Not to make fun of him, but Hyperspin 2.0 will benefit Carlos Arcade 1. Right? Is it Arcade 1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Hyper Arcade Systems. That's like the main market there is those two.
Well, Hyper Arcade Systems is Chris Shaw, and
so he'll benefit from that. But he also has like that whole Launchbox and
I think Carlos is just switching to Launchbox right now. I was just talking to him yesterday.
No, I don't know. Somebody recently like DM'd me for like help, and he wanted to add like a light gun game. I gotta find it. He wanted to add a light gun game, but it's through Hyperspin. And he was like, he asked me, he's like, can you help? I was like, Hyperspin is old. I've stopped using it, but I could help, but I'm not gonna fix like Carlos' drive. Contact Carlos. Carlos is pretty known to like answer back. So
yeah, I was like, I got lost in Rocket Launcher, and
I remember those days. I remember those days, and I don't miss those days at all.
Like why?
Rocket Launcher.
Like,
it was like left field. Somebody posted it. I'm like, Hyperspin 2.0. I was like, what is this?
It's just like, Launchbox. People are like, hey, how do I use Launchbox? I'm like, Launchbox, it just does what you tell it to do. Why does Hyperspin? But no wonder they're all so like crazy, is because maybe they all remember like you needed to like go get a degree in Rocket Launcher.
Yes, you needed a coding degree. That's what it needed. You needed XML and Control F and all that.
Because it wasn't an emulator. It was just a damn front end. What do you got there, Joel?
Raspberry Pi 5, 2 gigabyte.
Hey.
How many heat sinks? Damn, it needs all those heat sinks?
It's got the standard 3 heat. It's 5.
I remember
the Pi 4 came with like 2 or 3 heat sinks. This one has.
I remember the Pi 3 days.
This has got 5 heat sinks on it. All right.
That's why I said I'm interested. Again, iconic arcades, whatever, with Bobby Vu and all that. Congratulations. Do what you got to do.
Congratulations to Bobby Vu.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Congratulations to Bobby Vu.
It's right. If I was watching other people talk about this whole iconic arcade, but every time somebody mentions Bobby Vu, nothing negative can be said. About Bobby Vu.
No.
Bobby Vu is just a clean motherfucker, and that's what he is. And we're all we're all very happy because I remember like when we were first modding these arcade 1-ups, and he was all over the place. And I honestly thought he was the person behind the design of the cabinet. That's what I thought.
Oh, I knew he was.
He's always modifying the arcade 1-ups and like making these big fucking decks and shit. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's the one that designed it for them.
The first time I ever seen an LCD marquee was by Bobby Vu, and I bought it off him. He charged me like $220 for the LCD marquee because I didn't know where to get it. And I knew where to get it, but I needed a frame, right? And I talked to Angel, and Angel's like, you need to talk to a guy named Bobby Vu.
Is Angel still around?
Yeah, he's still around. So
Okay.
and he's still making marquees. So my first ever interaction with Bobby Vu was buying the active marquee, and ever since then we've just been friends.
Everybody's friends with Bobby Vu. You cannot not be friends with him.
He made it out of wood. He painted it black, and then he duct taped it together.
Okay.
Yo, but it was spot on. It worked. It worked great.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So I've got a couple other bullet points that I wanted to get to tonight. Another reveal that came out this week. Let's see here. Let me bring up a screen share here.
I think Brad set this up. Kudos to Brad.
Got it. Golf clap. Like we're men at work.
Did you see that new golf thing that came out? I do want to talk about this. Good point, Brad. Right here. I forgot about this.
Yep. So the Glenn's Retro Show 4U Arcade prototype, the FU Arcade.
Okay. I actually watched this video yesterday.
I don't have anything bad to say about Glenn. Glenn is cool.
You mean he could have chosen a better name, but yeah, it's now this is a prototype. He's already gotten some feedback that he's actually already said that he's gonna. And I had this queued up, and now my internet's gonna the video.
It didn't look at this much.
You got too many things open. Close your messenger. Close all that stuff. Close MagFest.
Let's see. And
there's a couple of things that are I have questions.
Brett, do you want me to do it? Because I'm hurt. I'm
here. I'm gonna send you the link.
Okay, send it the link in the private chat.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm anxious to see this video again. So nothing. Whatever I say with this, it's no disrespect to Glenn, and he's a cool dude. I'm just like, I understand now because of this whole iconic arcade. I don't know if he has pricing on this thing yet, but I just have questions.
He said under
questions.
It's just while you load it up, okay. Number one, and again, it's not disrespect, but it's like I don't know what's happening on that cabinet. Joel right now said that the iconic arcade is too deep. What's the depth on that?
Oh, it's full size. It's big.
It's 200 to 300 pounds.
Yeah. That was sent to the Facebook group, Joel.
Oh no, send it in the private chat.
We have private chat.
Yeah, if you look at
all to not all, right? No, that's all channels.
Cool. And then also, I mean, his big selling point with this definitely is that rotating screen.
I don't think that's a selling point.
I don't think so either, because I think it's a 19-inch screen.
I mean, it doesn't matter the size. I just don't think it's a selling point. But
then
I'll get into my reasons why, but you keep going.
I see that, and the one thing is that the screen is supposed to rotate, so you get the advantage of your horizontal to vertical gameplay.
Yeah, so he's got that in the video. He's also got side panels that turn it into looking more like a Nintendo cab, like Donkey Kong or something like that.
Brad, are you on StreamYard?
Yeah.
Okay, look on the right-hand side. You see it says comments, banners.
Oh, hey, okay.
Private chat. I love you, man.
You guys don't understand. I have a giant DSLR between me and your faces, so it looks like I'm looking at you, but it covers most of StreamYard. So
he's going to be way under 1,000.
No, he said it's going to be about 1,000. There's no way it's way under that kind of weight.
That's another thing, right? He said he's going to be under 1,000, but we don't know how under 1,000 he's going to be. I'm calling either $799 or $899.
Yeah, and then his Viper switcher is an optional add-on, so that'll cost extra.
All right. So does he have this stuff on like his website yet or not?
No, this is the prototype. So if you look at the prototype here, he's already gotten the feedback that people don't like how far the marquee jets out. So he's already said that's going to be cut back a little bit to give a better viewing angle for taller people.
Is that an active marquee?
It's not. No, it's just a space for a static marquee. And also right now, this is all prototype. The Joel, jump ahead a little bit. You'll see where he's rotating the screen. On the prototype, the screen, he's rotating it by hand, but he says that the final version, it's actually going to be a servo and software controlled. So when you play a vertical game, it's going to turn the screen 90 degrees automatically. And see.
That would be it.
Yeah, so you see the circle there. He turns it at one point, but
I mean, it's right now it's been horizontal this whole. Whoa, what is that?
Yeah, and there's the side panels to turn into like the Nintendo cab, which is really why the marquee jetted out so far as it did.
So he has like an add-on for a sidewall.
Yeah,
to make it look like a Nintendo cab.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. So so it's one cabinet, but you could make it the Nintendo. So automatically you're going to have have the lines.
Yeah,
you're going to see the lines.
Yeah, and let's see, but yeah, it's got a real coin door. Actually, accepts real coins. It's got a little coin box in it, and we have this separate big. See, he rotates the screen at 12:23, 12 minutes. At 12 minutes, he's doing the screen rotating.
That's. I don't think that's a 3-inch trackball, right?
No, it's his 2.5 inch.
Yeah,
his 2.5 inch.
Thanks, Ray. So you see,
I don't know much about pinball, so I gotta get my jokes in while I can here. I'm not even drinking today. I'm on antibiotics, so yeah.
Later, Keo.
Later, Keo. So he says that it's a rotating screen, right? It's a 19-inch monitor.
Yeah.
It's going to weigh 200 to 300 pounds. That marquee is way too big. Here's the thing, right? So let's just say, for shits and giggles, let's say it's $699, right? All right, let's say it's a $699 cab, and because it includes the deck, it includes the monitor, and it includes his Viper board, right?
Right.
Which is running a 3588 chipset inside it, which is basically the same thing as the Pi 5. In layman's terms, it's basically the same thing. So, but he doesn't charge. Shipping's not free. Okay, no. Glenn, he's never had free shipping on any of his products at all. So that means, and I think he's live right now with Galaga Guy too. And again, we're not talking shit. We're giving opinions here. This is what we're doing.
Yeah. This is all reveals. We're talking about our opinions.
We're talking about our opinions on it.
But we have to point out these are opinions on a prototype. So
right.
He's taking feedback right now.
But no, if it's going to be 200 to 300 pounds, right, and you got to ship that, you're looking at about $300 in shipping.
At least.
Right?
Yeah.
At least. So you're at $1,000.
Yeah. And do you think this thing's going to ship flat pack? I don't think so.
No.
I don't know.
Because he's talking about having that screen rotate on a servo. So there, You
don't know how many boxes it's going to be either.
Yeah.
But let's just estimate shipping is going to be $300.
Press Joel while you talk. Joel, just press play. This way we could just see.
After taxes, we're probably going to be at like $1,100, right? So it's going to be. I'm going to say roughly it's going to be an $1,100 cab, but it doesn't come with graphics.
No, but he is putting all the bells and whistles. He's got his volcanoes buttons. He's got his push-pull spinners, his trackball. There's actually a tray. At one point, he pulls out a storage tray where you can put like light guns. It's he's just it's a kid in a candy store. It's everything Glenn ever wanted in an arcade. Working coin mechs. Even like he loves the old Nintendo style, so he made it so you can there's the little like add-on right there, the showing the where you can make it look like a Nintendo cab. It's trying to be everything, and I'm not sure if being everything is good for everyone.
Here's the thing, though, is that his Viper board isn't that strong either, right? So if you want to add, let's just say you want to add graphics to it, you need to find somebody who makes the graphics for it, and he needs to release the files to a company so that they can draft the graphics on that, right? Especially that marquee. That marquee is not a standard marquee size. You're looking at about $300 right there for graphics. $250.
I would say more, if anything. But okay.
Let's put this in the context of back in the day, somebody bought a big multi-cade like the At Games Legends, right?
Right.
Like, what did the At Games Legends 4K run for?
I don't know what the 4K runs for, but the original At Games Legends I think was $599.
Yeah, so the 4K was a few $100s more than that. So it was but point is like this is going to be a little more expensive. I would much rather have this than an At Games Legends.
I'd rather have the Legends because the Legends has OTG mode.
This thing is ridiculously deep. This thing is monstrous.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of a monster.
And it's split in half too. Yeah, I don't like the design on it at all.
Now,
I'm just saying, right now, like Joel said before, that the iconic was too deep. This is like triple deep.
And the question really is, why? Is it?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's not. So the side panels give like the feeling of a Nintendo cab, right? But really,
but it
doesn't. But from the side, like it's giant, but it's not trying to reproduce an arcade, like an actual, like, it's trying to be an HS5 cabinet or something like that.
He's reproducing his Build-A-Cade into a large arcade. That's what it is.
But the Build-A-Cade needed that space.
Right.
This does not.
It does not.
Yeah.
No.
That was nothing. So back to the arcade, the arcade. The Legends Ultimate. That was very skinny. Depth-wise.
So he could easily, instead of that screen being at an angle, he could easily lift
up. Right.
Yeah, lift it up, cut the back of the cab off, and then also skinny up the marquee more, because the marquee only needs to be 7.5 inches deep. Right. That's it. I got a marquee right here.
He's really, though. I mean, from this cabinet look, he's trying to replicate the screen to be laying like a Pac-Man.
Yeah, you're right. And he just opened there. It's the angle of the screen. That's where all the depth is.
This right here is a standard size of a marquee. This is 7.5 inches deep, and it's 24 inches wide.
Wait, no, go back.
What'd you do, Vic? Yeah, this is the standard size of a marquee. This is a standard marquee. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get full screen. There we go.
There we go. This is the standard marquee size. This is 7.5 inches deep, and that's 24 inches wide. Standard marquee.
Right.
Now, this compared to Glenn's size.
Glenn's looks like, I swear to you, I thought it was an active marquee, so I thought of it as a widescreen monitor.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Jason, I did see that. So that was when he was talking about how pronounced, like you were saying, pronounced. Joel's talking about like the height. That the prototype looks like it's way too.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the width of it. It's the height.
Yeah.
The height is
the height.
Yeah. Now, Glenn did say that, especially with the side panels, the Nintendo side panels taken off, that he did agree. People were saying that it jetted out too far and it actually hurt visibility down on that screen. But if that screen wasn't quite so angled, it wouldn't need to be so deep, and you wouldn't have such a steep viewing angle on it either.
Exactly. So, you just need to do. All you have to do is just go. You just have to bring it up more. Just bring it up. Raise it up a little bit more.
I mean. It looks like, I would assume, I couldn't really see the wood. Is he using like real wood on this?
That's some kind of melamine wood.
That's prototype. We can't judge any of the materials.
I really hate to say it. I mean, I wish him good luck, but I don't see that cabinet being under $1,000.
I really don't see anybody buying it, but his fans.
He does have fans. It's. I will say that it's he's talked about making a full-size cabinet. Well, he was talking about making his own 3/4 size cabinet back in the day, which turned into full-size cabinet, which turned into like, F you, I'm going to build what I want. And that's really like the For You cabinet is F you, I'm building this because this is my dream cab.
That's what the FU stands for, is For You?
FU is the For You, but that's kind of after the fact. That's what it was translated to.
I honestly, somebody said to me it was full-size unit, and I'm like, that would be FSU. Like,
I thought it was an FU to his previous business partners in the arcade community.
I thought that too, and I'm like, you got to keep in mind that you're gonna, like, I don't know. It's fine.
I thought it was for full-size unit too. That's what I.
What's the size of the screen on this thing?
19.
And you can fit it, but you can fit a 26 inch.
Yeah, it's available though.
You could fit a 26 inch.
You could fit a 26 inch unit.
You can't go. You can't go work.
If it didn't rotate, you could do much bigger. But the rotating meant that he kept it to 19.
The only thing I got to say about that rotating thing, I feel like a lot of people went through this. I think I went through this too. Having the thought of rotating the screen sounds awesome, but do you actually rotate? That's where I'm happy that I have a dedicated vertical cabinet.
Dedicated vertical, you can go much larger too.
Correct.
I was just playing around, and I took I had a widescreen monitor, and I just flipped it 90 degrees, and I was playing like 1943 and 1942 vertical shooters on. I was like, this is amazing. And then I got my arcade, my A1, not A1 up, the
Legend.
I got the At Games pinball table, and I had more fun playing vertical arcade games on it than I did playing virtual pinball machines on it.
Oh, I forgot you had the At Games for a while.
Yeah.
It's a good idea that Glenn has that thing to hopefully servo, but in all honesty, if you have to manually spin, I will guarantee you it's a cool effect the first time you do it, but you
won't do it. But yeah, like, did you guys ever see the Astro City Mini that had the rotating screen on it?
Yeah.
And it popped out, and that was a fun little thing. But he's saying, you know how Glenn put out the Glenn and the guys, they put out that servo for the 4-way and 8-way auto switching joystick.
Yeah,
and you could actually write code where if you switch to a Pac-Man, it would automatically turn the servo. Well, they're basically turning that same thing into the screen servo. So if you go to a vertical game, it automatically turns the screen, which I think nobody's done that. Nobody's done something that automatically changes based on the game. That's pretty cool. Is it going to sell the whole cabinet? No, but is it really cool? Yes.
I have a big feeling though. If you go on YouTube and you look up rotating screen, you're gonna find what you just said. Somebody made a cabinet like that, and it's about 10 years old.
Yeah, Don Annis. He made.
I feel like somebody did that. It's cool that the servo is there and it will smooth the screen. I don't see this costing.
So
I don't even know how he's gonna make money if it's gonna cost under $1,000. I'm sorry. The way I see it, you got.
That's the thing that's the thing about Glenn's products is that sometimes they're so cheap. Is he really making any profit off of them?
Well, he's never really moved the kind of volume. I mean, we're okay. We were just talking about Arcade 1-Up and Iconic Arcade. Now we're talking GR. These are vastly different volumes that all these people sell.
But here's the other thing, though, too. He crowdfunds these. This isn't just going to be something that you go online and you order off his website. It's crowdfunded. So it's a pre-order cab, and then you got to wait for it. Why? Why would you wait?
Because he doesn't have he doesn't have.
No, I mean, as a customer, why would you order a blank cabinet and then wait 8 months, 9 months for it, and instead of ordering an arcade from a company, knowing that you're going to get it sent to you full size, even if you're waiting 8 months. Even if you're waiting 8 months, I got customers that have been waiting 8 months. Even if you've been waiting 8 months, but you're delivered plug and play, you know what I mean? And you got everything inside it you want with graphics and everything else. You're not waiting 8 months for a blank cabinet with nothing inside it except the front end. You got to add your own games to it, and then you got to get your graphics. And you got to find the company that's going to make the graphics for it, if he's going to release that to a company. Otherwise, somebody's going to have to take measurements and figure it the fuck out. That's my biggest beef right there, is that it doesn't come with graphics. It's a blank cabinet. Not even a marquee. Like, the marquee could just say, like, arcade.
Well, honestly, even if he had graphics, it's going to be probably some generic thing. He's not going to be able to put, if he wants to mimic Nintendo, fine. He'll probably have that orange or light blue. But, like, if somebody wants Street Fighter, he's not going to do that. He's going to get
that. But you could always do, like, a multicade kind of graphic on it.
Yeah,
something like you can't put Pac-Man on it. It's got to be like
but remember the crappy graphics that were on the at-games, arcades. There was that crappy multicade shit. So
J-Rod, he says crowdfunding in about 60 days or less, but it's 60 days or less if he meets the goal he needs.
Right. If he
crowdfunding is basically a GoFundMe for pre-sales. That's all that it is. He needs to meet a goal in order for it to match it, and so that he can build it, basically, because it's done by a factory. He's not doing this himself, and the factory is overseas. It's not an American factory. Nobody uses American factories. I would just assume it's overseas.
I mean, from that prototype, my only question is it one solid piece of wood as the sides?
No, you could see on the side it was 2 pieces.
I know, but it's a prototype, so I'm like, that's like the same question I have with this Iconic Arcade. Is it a solid side wall, or are we dealing with the fucking line again?
Iconic's Arcade that they presented to us, like the shell,
it looks
that's the final shell. We just didn't see the internal guts finalized, but the shell itself, that's the final shell. It's basically just a
and you said you saw
one solid wall piece.
No, I thought you said you saw a seam when B was showing you the video.
I thought it was a seam, but I saw the video and I couldn't find. I thought it was a seam on the photo, but it's actually where I used chin, that line right there. So then
the only way to see it, I think, like I said, I think B Kong or somebody has that.
I didn't see a seam at all.
Well, so if you're getting it from Sasbo, then you're still definitely waiting 8 months for graphics. But I mean, if he's got a deal with Sasbo, that's fantastic that you can get the graphics from Sasbo. But again, you're looking at what $200 to $300 in graphics just for that. So,
like I said, you could deal with somebody with like J. Rod said, you could deal with a company that's going to deal with artwork. You are not going to get you're not going to get Neo Geo artwork on it. You're not going to get Pac-Man.
You can't pay that license fee. There's no way.
You're not going to get it. So,
I mean, whatever Sasbo has a license for the graphics, so whatever Sasbo can produce for it, he's going to produce for it if that's what he's using, or if that's who he is going to use for it. But the point is that you know if you're still. But my point is that you're $1,600 deep into it.
Yeah. So we were just talking about the iconic arcades with these Street Fighter cabs. We were talking about there's people that just buy them on the shelf, they're going to enjoy them. Then there's people going to buy them and mod them, right? And they're going to put all this extra money into them. Now, Glenn's cabinet looks to be just for that second set of people.
Yeah.
This is just for people who are going to buy and turn it into something.
Right.
And for that it's a much higher price point to get in. And honestly, it looks like it's a lot more material to deal with, assembly and moving it. And when you're modding it, I would much rather mod an arcade 1-up than mod a full-size arcade cabinet, because it's just it's a lot to deal with. That's a lot of material. And
and then my other argument to that one is that again, why would you wait when you can just spend I sell arcades with I could do a Unico 26-inch for $1,500 plus shipping. Right?
That's good.
And then you're getting games inside it. Right? The games are already coming inside it. You'll get 8,600 games. Or if you don't want games inside it, I can give you a blank Spaticero system with the Unico 26. If you don't want a Unico 26, I can do a standard 22-inch monitor, widescreen, for $1,200 plus shipping.
Yeah, and Joel's version with
graphics.
Joel's version with no games is called the FU version. FU, there's no games on it.
So, but it's $1,200 plus shipping.
You can't get cheaper than that.
It'll cost you the same amount of money to order Glenn's cab and put graphics inside it.
Yeah, I do like. So I'll talk about things I do like about it. I like the idea of servo-controlled rotating screen. It's a novelty, but I like it. Right. I like that it has this push-pull spinners. They're really great. I've never used this trackball, but if they're from what I've heard,
trackball's great.
Yeah, and then working coin mechs. That is a cool novelty too. It's got a lot of cool little things going on with it. If somebody is a fan of Glenn's products and wants them all in one thing, it doesn't already happen.
People are going to enjoy it. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it going to be profitable? Is it going to be successful in a business market? That's going to be.
I say he sells.
Novelty question. Yeah.
I say maybe he sells 500 of them.
I would, if he's lucky. I don't know. Like I said, I look at the coin door alone. How isn't a coin door like $150, $100, $80?
No,
coin doors you can get them for like $60.
That's why I just can't figure out he's going to be under 1,000. That's the only thing I can't figure out. And he's using
especially with the melamine
wood.
Especially if he's doing 3/4-inch melamine wood.
It doesn't make sense.
We both know how much that costs. That was for me to purchase that. That was $75 a sheet.
Yeah, because it was melamine, laminated.
Right. And to do a full-size arcade cabinet, I needed at least 4 sheets.
I listen. If he could make it happen, kudos. I don't know. But like I said, good luck.
The 19-inch monitor itself, the 19-inch Unico is $200. The 19-inch from AliExpress is $70 plus $100 shipping. So average $200 for a 19-inch monitor. For HDMI input on it, and then he's putting his Viper board inside it and his controls. I just really don't see how. I know earlier I said $699. I really don't see how it's going to be anything less than $899. Honestly,
I was thinking 800 would have been like kind of a target price for something like this, but I could see it going for higher. I could see it, with everything costing more than it does, but definitely not under 800.
Right. No, we know he's not claiming under 1K with the Unico 26-inch. He's claiming 19 inches as a target for that. So we're going to claim that he's going to do 800 to 899 is going to be his price plus shipping.
What's the price difference from a 26-inch to a 19-inch?
The 26-inch Unico is $399 plus tax, so it's $450. The Unico 19 is $199, so it's actually like $230. The one from AliExpress comes just about to $200.
Okay, so you're talking like a $300 difference.
Yeah.
Right. So again, I even with that, if 1K less 3, and then 1K plus 3 for the 26, I still don't understand how they could be at $1,300.
Yeah, if you get the 26,
he's not making too much of a profit off it. He's got to only be making like $100.
I don't know.
You're removing the servo motor for the 26.
Yeah, 26. You won't have a rotating screen. There's no way.
That takes away a lot of the novelty. At that point, you're pretty much a GRS shell.
Right. Well, also the servo stick itself is $60.
Is this? No, I thought it was on sale. I think the sale ended, but it was.
Even if it was on sale, who cares? Normal price is $60.
Yeah.
I really like the servo stick.
The servo stick is actually going to start coming on my arcades.
But are you going to put it on push button or are you going to put it on script?
I'm going to put it on script.
Awesome. That is the correct answer.
It's cool. I think, what was it? You need LED blinky for that.
You do. Yeah, but you can use the generic version for that. So all I'll do is just make the script and add an LED blinky for it. And you don't even need LED blinky to do the blinky. You just need
you can just
LED.
make each game do the rotate.
Yeah, I would probably, to be safe, still put the button just to be safe.
Well, I'll have the Stream Deck. So the Stream Deck will also have a button as a backup plan too. You always got to have a plan B.
But there is one thing though, the stick. I did find an issue when you're in 8-way mode. Hitting diagonals on the stock stick is actually quite difficult. So
really,
try on the 4-way. It's great, but once you're on 8-way, because of the way
now the 8-way on that's going to be a square gate, not like the octagonal that you might get.
No.
So it's going to feel different.
The square that they have is a little bit less square, I guess, or more square, whatever.
You needed the corners directly to get both directions.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people are you ever seen those octagonal gates? Those are really, you can get all those little notches when you're doing your little Hadoukens and shit.
On the square on the GRS with a stock Sanwa actuator, I couldn't hit a diagonal.
So and it's a big feeling difference when the Glenn's auto switcher goes from diamond to square. And that goes from 4 to 8. But I'm telling you, a square gate feels so different than an octagonal. I can't say that word. Thanks,
diagonal.
That one, it feels very different. I actually have a lot of trouble
Chinese like commenting on a white guy's English. Really?
Yeah, right. I can't. I have a lot of trouble pulling off Dragon Ball or Street Fighter moves on a square gate. It's like a little assistant with the octagonal thing. Yeah.
So rectangular.
Rectangular.
No,
just say
you're wolf with this.
We're doing the same thing at the same time. Jason brought up a point here, though. He's probably right because Glenn said that he wasn't using the Unico 26-inch because they wouldn't give him a good price on it. So he's definitely got to have some kind of wholesale price on the 19-inch monitors. So average the 19-inch monitor he's putting in there for $100. That's what I would average. So they might give him free shipping on it if he's buying 50. That would make sense, right? Yeah. So,
but I wish him the best of luck.
Yeah.
I'm full. I'm not in the market for a multi-cade right now, but I am very curious to see how that works out, and I really hope it does. So
we want it to succeed. That's what
we want everyone to succeed. Yes.
Is everybody loves Glenn, or some of the other stream shows? Some of the other streams are just like, oh, here comes another GRS product. Well, we have to say something nice, otherwise the chat will eat us alive.
with that Street Fighter cabinet too, I might even be the asshole and fucking put in this Final Fight fucking PCB.
Wow.
God.
Now, no, you say you with your original cabinet. I meant to mention this earlier. We had talked earlier that you had just finished working on your 1-to-1 reproduction of a Double Dragon.
Yeah. I finally got that new marquee.
You're working on a Robotron.
I am.
And I am so excited about that. In fact, Robotron came up during more than one of the live streams this week where people are talking
Everybody wants Robotron.
Everybody wants Robotron. Yeah. Everybody wants Robotron.
Yeah, everybody wants Robotron. And Stock Jock brought it up about in November. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing Robotron.
Yeah, dude. I see, like, even on like the Discord, I'm like, everybody wants a Robotron. What the hell?
Everybody wants a Robotron.
Yeah. Now, first of all, like Robotron is pre-JAMA. So if people are out there with original PCBs, it's a pain in the butt to like get them all wired up to a multicade or to a cabinet. You can't put them in JAMA switchers. But you're going to be going mini PC Batacera on yours.
I'm going to try Batacera first.
So now, short of that, you can also MAME runs it. Is on a J-Rock. There's a lot of ways to play it, but nobody makes the cabinet. And that's what's so cool about, you're putting it with this, that classic silver artwork on the sides and everything. So now Double Dragon is like, I have a soft spot for Double Dragon too. It was in the local sandwich mill had a Double Dragon, and I always right. But Robotron, people are going to go nuts for that shit.
I think people are going to go nuts for it. So it's going to, the official name of it's going to be the Twin Stick Multicade.
I was just going to say,
give us your lineup.
So Twin Stick Multicade, and then it's going to have every Twin Stick game I can put inside it. That doesn't include a Top Fire. So Battle Tanks or Battle Zone, you need a Top Fire or a trigger button to shoot the tank. I'm not putting a tank on it. I'm not going to put that game on it.
Yeah, there's another game that I would love. So I have Smash TV with a JAMA switcher, and I also wanted all the Twin Stick games on it. So I've got Robotron via J-Rock. I've got Crawl also via J-Rock. I've got the Smash TV original. I wanted super exciting for me. I I original Total Carnage. I was talking to you guys.
You got it.
In the bid, he accepted my offer. I have a Total Carnage original PCB.
Yes.
Get Total Carnage in my Smash TV, but I also wanted to get there's Xenocrisis. It's a new
Xenocrisis.
Yeah, so they made it for consoles, but they also made it for Neo Geo. But the problem with that, it looks like a twin stick shooter. The problem with it is that in addition to the two sticks, there's a grenade button and a roll, like dodge roll button. Those are necessary to play the game. So that's two buttons on top of the sticks. So you can't really play it on a twin stick setup. So
I guess not then.
But yeah. Now if you looked at I looked into it. The funny place where I found it is
don't forget Black Widow.
Oh right. That was a vector, but we could totally play that on LCD. Yeah. But the Tron had a cocktail table.
Yes.
Now Tron had a joystick and a spinner, right?
And the joystick had a trigger.
Right, but there was the flight stick on the cabinet, but the cocktail had a little joystick, and there's a little tiny trigger on the front of the ball top joystick. And I thought about sourcing one.
I can't find it.
I know it's so hard to find, but I totally would have put that on my Smash TV so I could play Xenocrisis.
I came across a cocktail cabinet of Tron over the summer, and I think I sent it to our group chat and was like, I have never seen this. And it was like $1,600, $1,800. I was looking for the pinball, and I was so tempted to buy it instead of buying the pinball.
I saw one just a couple of months ago pop up in West Virginia, and
it might have been the same one.
Yeah, I was tempted as well, but to be honest, it was like a novelty. I just recently last summer I picked up a Tempest cocktail, and
you had a hell of a time with that.
Yeah, like that. But that is my only cocktail space. And honestly, if I were to have a Tron, it would need to be the stand up with the black light and everything. The cocktail was a really like low volume like collector's piece, but it didn't have any of the lighting effects. It didn't have the translight. It didn't,
Right now the Tron. I like Discs of Tron better than Tron. Tron to me is just a novelty, but if I have a Tron cabinet, I want Discs of Tron. Yeah, or I gotta have it on it.
So you means you're getting a push-pull spinner. So
push-pull spinner for that. I mean, I really, really, really like Discs of Tron. Like I really do.
When the Arcade 1-Up Tron came out, that's all I played on it before I did my mod, and I modded my cabinet as a multi-gate. Before that, all I did was play Disc of Tron on that.
I'm not gonna lie. If Arcade 1-Up comes out with another version of Tron, I'm gonna buy it because I want the Disc of Tron game and I like the cabinet too. Yeah, so I would mind that just to have the Disc of Tron game just dedicated to it so I can play it.
Yeah,
I could easily build it. I don't feel like it.
It's all the bells and whistles. Back in the day, people were like in the early like Gen 1 Arcade 1-Up mods. People were making Trons.
Yeah,
but all the bells and whistles. Where can I put in the black light and where can I put in a translight? And but what Arcade 1-Up never did, and what no one else is doing, is give us a damn twin stick arcade.
No,
so that's going to be really cool.
Now, how many? I gotta now look into it and make a category on Launchbox, but I'm sure there's a way to do it. But how many twin stick arcade games are there?
I want to say there's only like 16.
maybe less. Yeah, maybe less even.
Vindicators. There might be less.
Oh,
Vindicators.
see, I have to think
Black
outside
Widow.
the box. I'm thinking move and shoot, which is I got to think outside the box. Like Vindicators, it's tank controls. So
yeah, it's tank controls and also Vindicators. One of those controls shot too. So
what's it called?
Vindicators. It was a tank game.
Yeah, Vindicators, Black Widow.
No, I was.
I mean, I did Google search.
Smash TV is obviously one of it.
23 games.
Robotron. There's another game similar to Robotron too. There's not too many twin stick games.
The trilogy, the holy grail of twin sticks was Robotron, Smash TV, and Total Carnage. They were all they were all sequels to each other. But Crawl was a twin stick.
Right.
A lot of people don't forget. They forget about Crawl because it was Crawl. But
but yeah, I mean, so the twin stick multi-cade is coming out. I'm hoping to have it finished being built by next week. Or I'm at least going to have the cabinet like prepared to be put together by next week. So I have to order the graphics. I just got a set of graphics in today. I put in an order last week for graphics because remember I'm doing those clocks. So I got a bunch of that. I had to get another Guitar Hero set of graphics. And I got something. Oh, I needed my marquee. I needed my new Double Dragon marquee. So I finally put the order in for that last week, and I got them today. So I'm going to put the order in on Monday for the Robotron graphics only, and hopefully I have that by the end of the week and I can start getting it together. The idea would be to put it on sale in February, but I'm probably looking more towards I'll make the announcement and the video for it, and then I'll say it's going to go up for sale in March so that the word can get around. And then I'm probably only going to do an order of 5 cabinets for that at first.
Yeah,
I got a lot of other cabinets to catch up on and build.
Yeah, you got customers waiting, but it would be really cool. And I know you can't do it. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But if they were leaf switch instead of micro switch, that would be
on the joysticks.
Well, yeah, because all the old twin stick games they were leaf switch. When you're moving around like that, it was just there's no click.
Yeah,
all you feel is just the tension spring. And
maybe I can.
A leaf spring joystick is way bigger footprint underneath, so it's a pain in the butt, but it feels so good compared to micro switch.
The deck is the real size. I found the measurements of the deck. The deck was 24 inches wide and it was only 6.5 inches deep.
I'm saying for the people that know, if you were to do that, and that would be a selling point if you were having leaf switch joysticks. So just saying,
we should hunt those and see how much they are to get leaf switch joysticks.
I'm looking for it now. Mike's Arcade has them.
How much?
For $17.
Oh wait, there you go.
Oh,
are they ball top or are they bat sticks?
It's a ball top.
I'm in. Give me a link. Give me a link to the group chat.
They're just so smooth. You don't feel any clicks at all with them. So
the other thing that I did with mine is because the Robotron cabinet is a Bally Williams cabinet, and the Bally Williams coin door is like $200. So I did not put a coin door on it. I might 3D print a coin door. There is also a guy on Etsy who sells 3D printed coin doors with a hinge. He won't give me the files, fucker. But that's fine. It's only $60, but I might buy one of those. And so for the next one, I'll do the measurement for it. Because I would like to have a coin door that opens up. Because I would like to, they're micro switches. So I would like to put attach the coin. I attach the lines for the coins to the coin door and just push it on there. Right now, the deck. So my prototype is going to look a little bit different than the original Robotron deck. I put the player 1 and player 2 start buttons above the twin sticks, and then I put the coin buttons in the centers. Originally, Robotron, the start buttons were to the right, like Pac-Man. I didn't know that actually when I was designing the deck, and I already cut it, and I already ordered. Well, I didn't order the graphic yet, but I already cut the deck. So player 1 and player 2 start were to the right. I have mine up in the center, and I have the coin buttons up in the center too. So cool. Mine's going to look a little bit different. I might leave it that way so that I don't get hit for copyrights type shit. So because if the cabinet isn't exactly a complete replica of it, nobody can come at me.
Yeah.
You know, but somebody might be like, well, the buttons aren't over there. Well, I did that for a reason, right? So, and the original Robotron cabinet had the 19-inch monitor inside it. So I'm going to have two options for monitors. We're going to have the Unico 26, which is going to be the actual prototype. And then I'm going to have an option. I was going to do my 22-inch widescreen, but I'm thinking I just do the 19-inch screen.
Yeah. I mean, it's staying faithful, you know?
Yeah, I'm thinking I just do that.
Yeah, and Robotron never had a big screen variant. It's not like
not.
Smash TV where it had the two screen sizes.
But there is a demand out there for people who want the Unico 26. So my first prototype is going to be the Unico 26, and I'm going to put an option in there. You can have the 19, and I really want my price point to be $1,200 for the 19. And then the 26-inch will be $1,500 plus shipping. So, and it's all freight shipping, but it's delivered to you plug and play as always, right?
For the record, I have way more than that invested in my twin stick multi-case.
Right. I mean, dude, I would love to send one over to you if I could. So, I mean, just pay for if we work something out, and you just pay for shipping, call it a day, right?
We'll work something out. So you're looking at getting this prototype done maybe next week, right?
I'm looking at it, hopefully, to have it done and standing by next week. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna wire it up with an iPad controller. I'm gonna set it to D input, and I'm gonna load up Batacera, and I'm gonna go game by game to do the manual. Because when you do Batacera is like RetroPie, your sticks are one and done. So I'm gonna go game by game to do the manual twin stick, and then clone the image onto an M.2, so that I have a master key, and then just keep cloning the image when I make the cap.
It's great.
So that's the option for it. And then what also is cool about Batacera is that say you just wanted to have that specific Robotron game to load up, you just go into the options menu and click it to load to that game when you turn it on.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It'll act like a dedicated cabinet.
RetroPie, RetroPie, you can't easily map twin sticks to say I'm playing Robotron. I'll use player 2 as the shoot and player 1 stick as the move. Right. Nope. RetroPie really locks the mapping. Controller 1 is for player 1. Right. Controller 2 is player 2. So your shoots are the buttons on like a RetroPie setup.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's always jank. But on Batacera, you can map it however you want.
You can hit the tab button and go in and change it out.
Yeah, see with MAME or something. But yeah, RetroPie was a pain in the butt. So twin sticks were not fun on like RetroPie.
No, I remember with the first time I made a Tron one, and it was a 2-player layout with a Tron stick added onto it. So the Tron stick was actually player 3. And I'm like, I thought I could just go into the game and do that. And I'm like, oh, that's not how that works.
It's not going to work.
That's not how that works at all. Like, I literally had to go into the MAME configs. What a pain in the ass that was.
Funny when you were used to or at least me, I was used to MAME on Windows, Windows PC, where you just go in and set whatever you want, do whatever you want,
Yeah.
On RetroPie,
RetroPie gave me the little finger on that.
Look at the Pi 5. That's what I'm saying. Let me add a simple ROM or change this. Nope.
Nothing simple.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that you're gonna have this up and running next week, because 2 weeks from now, you're busy.
We're busy. We're busy. Me and you. Which way does it go? Me and you. This guy over here. We're going someplace.
We're going someplace, baby.
And we're sleeping in the same room together.
We're crashing in a very small room, and we're going to MagFest. So
MagFest.
Yeah. So
MagFest.
What
the hell is MagFest?
MagFest is a giant gaming convention down in DC, just outside of DC at National Harbor. It's a huge gaming convention, music festival kind of deal. It is sold out like a year or two in advance.
Wow.
It is a big deal. I've never gone to it because it's just too crowded and too big.
It's a 20-hour event.
Yeah.
Wow.
4 days.
It's huge. But yeah, we're going to be down there. A friend of mine hooked us up with some crash space, so me and Joel will have a very small space to crash in, but it will be ours, and we're going to document the whole thing. We're going to
so cool.
Go and play some pinball, sit in the arcade playing retro games until 4 a.m, and it's going to be great.
It's a 4-day thing, or it's 1 day.
It's actually Thursday to Sunday. So,
wow.
And I'm flying in. We're doing Friday, Saturday, leaving Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there Thursday night, and Joel will be there on Friday, right, Joel?
Yeah, I'll be. My flight's at 12:30 in the afternoon, and I land at like 2.
Yeah.
How long a flight is that from where you are to DC?
Hour and a half.
Oh,
yeah.
It probably won't even be an hour and a half. You figure tarmac shit like that.
Yeah. Cruising altitude, instantly descending. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it'll probably be like an hour. You're spending 15 minutes on the runway. So I'll probably be there by 2 o'clock.
It's in 2 weeks.
To 2 weeks. It's the last weekend of
January.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yep. It's so really looking forward to that. We're all I know about the crowds is that they're huge. So we're not sure what kind of connectivity we're going to get, but we're going to try to keep in touch with you guys while we're down there. And definitely take some footage for the next stream. So.
The hotel is called the Gaylord.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to work at an anime convention called Katsucon that was at the same hotel. But now Katsucon is 20,000 people and MagFest dwarfs it. So it's going to be wall to wall in there, man. So
hopefully we don't get COVID, but I'm excited.
I mean, you're going to get something. You're
going to get something. It's either going to be crabs or it's going to be COVID.
Welcome to Maryland.
Welcome to Maryland.
That's so cool. That's all. You guys are hiding that from us. We didn't know about that. That's so cool.
I wanted to surprise you guys. Like I said, awesome. I've just got I was hooked up with now rooms are literally on a lottery system. So a friend of mine hooked me up with a room, but it's like a single king bed. And I was like, you know what? Joel's been talking about going to conventions, going to Chicago, going to these things. I'll see if Joel wants to hop down here and check it out. And he'll probably be sleeping in the bathtub or something. But he said he's doing that.
Yeah, that's it. That's awesome.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. I was able to use miles to get my ticket. So I didn't even have to. My ticket was basically free for me. All I had to do was just buy the ticket to the convention. So Brad's got the hookup on it. Obviously, we got to pay for food and shit too. We got to hit it. We got to hit a nice dinner in DC. I might pee on the Lincoln Memorial. So we'll figure that out.
It'll probably like -6 degrees, but you're used to that shit. So
yeah, I'm used to that shit. I got a Carhartt. So I actually thought, I'm like, am I going to wear hoodies to DC or am I going to wear my jacket? I'm like, you know what? I'll wear my jacket and I'll just leave it in the hotel room because we're just in the hotel.
Yeah.
And then we're supposed to go to something called what? Moo Festival?
The Moo party. There's a giant room party, the Moo party, and it's cow themed, but it's sexy. It's like sexy cow. I don't know.
Okay. You're going to go to like Party City and grab a cow?
Yeah,
I got a thong.
Yes. Some of my friends who are regulars to MagFest, they like work on staff and stuff. They're the people that kind of hooked us up. And they were like, okay, you need to hit this, and then you need to do that, and then this is this, and then the arcade kind of clears out around 3 a.m. So that's when we all can get into the arcade. And I'm like, damn.
Wow. And that's gonna be 4 days. Shit.
Yeah, so these are a lot of folks that I used to party hard with back when I was working at the anime conventions. So I just like, oh man, okay, I remember how to do this. I can do this.
Now you have to prepare yourself.
We're gonna need some Colombian bam to get through the weekend.
Yeah. Oh
that's
man,
so awesome. That's sick.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So, but that wraps up my list of things that we had to cover for the week. That's pretty much it. So
anything on your side over there, Ray? You've been
Oh no! I've been playing with the MU deck to see how easy or hard it was to set up.
Since Ray doesn't since he doesn't have a camera, he's not wearing pants.
No. I had the scar revision surgery, so I am not in a physical shape to show off yet.
Ray pulled up his camera and said, "Who's the hottest Asian of them all?" And the camera broke.
And he instantly dialed his plastic surgeon. I have to fix this.
Yeah,
for
right?
Brad and Joel, while you guys are out in DC, be careful of wet floors.
Yep. Yeah. Careful,
when is this again? When is MagFest?
It's in 2 weeks.
Last weekend of January. So we're
that's so cool. That's
January. So the 30.
It's the 24th, 25th, 26th.
Yeah, 24th, 25th, 26th. Yeah.
So I'll be flying in the 24th.
Woohoo!
Celebrate. That's why we're doing the cow party.
We'll get sushi just for that.
There you go.
I'll fly in the 26th.
Sorry, 29th. 29th is New Year's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if it's if the bandwidth allows it, I'm gonna try to live stream from the arcade to like show you guys what's going on. But failing that, we're gonna have plenty of footage that we can put together after the fact. So
awesome.
it's all has to be a tax write-off.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's what do you call it? Product development?
Yeah, industry research. So,
R&D.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's good.
Brad's gonna make a MagFest collection of all the ass.
Not all of it, but I'm gonna try.
We will be waiting anxiously.
Yeah. So but yeah, I think what else we got coming up? We've got. I would hopefully. Let's plan for a stream where we can take a look at the Robotron prototype that Joel's putting together and talk about the after effects of MagFest. So
yeah, we probably won't stream again until sometime in February.
Yeah, so we're talking like like at least the first week of February, maybe the second week of February, we should do another show. And anyone who's still watching, tune in because you're going to see some serious shit.
Yeah,
probably the second weekend in February. Work out better because I think. Yeah, probably the second week in February would work out better.
Yeah, that is not Valentine's Day, right?
It's not Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is the following weekend.
Following weekend. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So and then I gotta, dude. January and February is the worst month for me. My one daughter's birthday is January 2nd. My wife's birthday is My brother's birthday is today. My wife's birthday is January 17th, and then my oldest daughter's birthday is February 4th. And then we got Valentine's Day. So like I'm broke between December.
No, you're incorrect. Well, actually, the second weekend of February is the 14th. That's Valentine's Day.
No, I'm looking at it. The first weekend in February is the 1st and the 2nd.
Oh well, okay, 31st first. Okay, yeah. Right.
And then the second weekend is the 8th and the 9th, and then
I was seeing the 8th and 9th is the first. All right, you're right. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so we probably won't. Should we do a Valentine's Day?
Yeah. Will you guys be on my Valentine's?
Yeah, right.
So we're tentatively looking at the weekend of like maybe the 7th, maybe Friday the 7th. We'll do a catch up stream. But anyone who's watching the stream, tune in just in case on the 25th, in case there's an impromptu live stream from MagFest. If the bandwidth holds up, you guys might see some stuff that's going to get us banned off YouTube. So,
oh yeah, I'll bring my stick.
Definitely.
Or I got a chest one where I can just attach my camera to the chest. I'll just walk around with it on my chest.
Perfect. Cool.
Why don't you just get a GoPro and just tape it to your head? It'll be easier.
I used to carry my GoPro. I had a little backpack. And I used to strap the GoPro to like the shoulder strap of my backpack and just walk around with it like this, and nobody noticed it.
Like your Venom.
Right.
Agree.
With the cosplay girls and the camera's like, take a picture of them.
Oh, dude. We totally got to do like a booth fucking girl video. Like Brad's fucking flirting with all the booth girls.
Oh, the booth bunnies? Yeah, we got to go make the 8 around the kingdom.
I like that, booth bunnies.
Yeah, you totally got to do that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun though. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun.
That'll be great. It'll be great.
That's not Super Bowl weekend, right?
No, I think that's the weekend after. Super Bowl's in February now, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, hang on.
When's
the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's
I think it's like on the 5th, 16th.
It is.
When is it?
Is it the 16th or the 23rd?
February 9th.
9th. Yeah.
Oh.
So let's plan a stream for Friday the 7th if we could.
Friday the 7th.
And obviously Brad and I will definitely be doing some kind of stream live from MagFest.
Something, whatever we can manage. I'm expecting low bandwidth and high crowds, but we'll put something together.
It'll be a full stream. So
yeah.
actually, no, Brad. You know what? I have a mobile hotspot.
Yeah, and like I was saying, as long as the cell isn't completely saturated, then we'll be able to do this. As long as cell signals aren't completely saturated.
Yeah, I'll bring my mobile hotspot so we can hop into we can have a mobile Wi-Fi.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. I'm gonna put together whatever cameras I've got. We're gonna be completely all set. We'll be ready to go.
We're gonna have lots of fun with this. So, are we in the stream? Is that what we're doing?
I gotta bail. But
yeah, we got caught.
Yeah, I'm about good. I'm trying to figure out an emulation station in the simplest way possible.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go play some Alan Wake. So Alan Wake is amazing.
I caught that you were streaming that, like I think like last week, right?
I was, yeah. I might hop back on and just do a stream of just me playing PlayStation 5, but you don't see my face, so I'll probably end up doing that.
Face, then I'll turn that on. Yeah,
exactly. You guys see my face. So actually, another thing you guys can look forward to too is that the other day yesterday I was streaming myself working.
The cutting wood. Yeah.
Well, I was cutting wood and I was sanding it down, and then I switched to the inside of the house, and then I was on my laptop and I was doing stuff on my laptop. So I didn't feel as lonely when I was doing that. So you guys might catch me doing a lot more live streams of me just working.
Do it, man. That's cool. Definitely, that's like something that like people probably want to see actual.
And I tell you what, you don't feel lonely when you're streaming, and those of us like with nobody around, if we turn on a live stream, we don't feel lonely either. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like it does get lonely and boring while I'm doing that, and if I know people are watching, I don't feel too lonely. Even though I'm just like I'm quiet and I'm not doing anything except for working. But I might even set up a camera on the corner of the garage and do something like that too. I don't know. It just feels like a fun idea, like reality TV type shit.
I paid more to watch less. So
there you go. Yeah, and it's free. It's on YouTube. So I'm not really interacting with the chat too much, but I did it. I designed a pedestal base on YouTube the other day, so I thought that was fun too. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep myself happy. That's it.
There you go. Let's keep ourselves happy.
Exactly. And more efficient, things like that. All right, we love all you guys. Thanks for watching. We are ending the stream.
See you guys next 2 weeks.